Oi, oi. Hang on. Are we? Fucking hell, this is a bit bright, isn't it? It's very tungsten-y. Is the sound working? It should be. I've got this new little gizmo. Can you hear me loud and clear? Is it? Why? Fancy, isn't it? We've got a new fancy, lovely little microphone. Let me just make this look a bit nicer. Oh. Ahoy there, chat. How the fuck do you do? It's nice to be back in the world of streaming. Look, we've even customized the stream, which is why it took a little while. So I've got a new waiting screen with Johnson. Look, it's 3, 2, 1 Johnson. Isn't he lovely? What a lovely little bunny he is. Bit high tech and fancy that, mate, isn't it? Yeah, we've even got this banner here that says that a song has been dropped and stuff, man. We're living the dream, guys. How are you all doing? Are you all doing alright? What's on the menu? Not Johnson. You leave him alone. Same old, guys. I think I'm meat and veggies, isn't it? Not a lot's changed there. Actually, that's a lie. I've reintroduced new food into my diet, and it's probably like one of the biggest foods introductions that I've had in a long time because it's such a versatile ingredient. Try and guess what it is. It's not a carrot. It's much more exciting than a carrot. It's not potatoes either. I wish potatoes would be a good one, actually. This is arguably as versatile as the potato. It's not Johnson. It's not Johnson. It is rice. He can have rice. I hadn't, for some reason I used to react badly to carbs before, but I tried rice for the first time and I can have it. I mean, I know that might not sound very exciting to most of you normal humans who have an averagely working digestive system, but it's huge for me because like my diet's consisted of just like meat and a few vegetables for probably about 9 years now. So like rice is fucking huge for me. Imagine only eating just like a few meats and vegetables for 9 years and then all of a sudden, it's like you live on a desert island, right? And all of a sudden they drop these care packages full of rice down. It's kind of like that. So I've been, rice is fire, man. I've only tried white rice so far, but it's got a low histamine content and I can have rice cakes. Do you know what it is? Like, my diet is so fucking frustrating because if I go on like a trip or a flight or something like that, I can't eat anything except cucumbers and fucking celery. So now that I can munch on a rice cake, I can make a cucumber rice cake, which probably doesn't sound very exciting to somebody, but fucking now I can just munch on something. I'm going to be a much less hungry man than I have been. So yeah, man. Fat Ren incoming, baby. Rice is life. Welcome to the Church of Rice. Slaughterhouse, it was a song. What do we think about it? We're here for it. This is much easier to read, by the way, than the YouTube chat. This is good. It's almost better that I didn't really announce it very much and came late, because there's a little bit of like, I can actually read some of these messages, man. It's good. It's a contained house party, man. Yeah, we were liking the tune. Fire. Yeah, YouTube chat was wild, man. I couldn't read shit. Yeah, man. So this is the last hip hop track for a while. There are a couple of hip hop. Me and Chinchilla have got 2 collaborations on this record, and one of them is actually a fucking hip hop banger. And we got Daisy because like Chinchilla, she can bring the as we know from Little Girl Gone, man, she can bring that fucking powerhouse feminist rap energy, and so we got a bit of that on one of these records. And then we've also got a sad boy anthem, very much in the realms of like Chalk Outlines, How to Be Me sort of feel, but it's almost got like a James Bond soundtrack feel to it as well. It's one of my favourite things I've done in a while, actually, that. And there's a few others as well. There's one song particularly on this record. It sounds a little bit like Maggot Brain in the intro, or like Before the Beginning by John Frusciante, and then it breaks into this like almost like 80s power ballad is the only way I can describe it. It's mad. This whole album is quite crazy. I'm looking forward to hearing it because I'm exploring a very different side of very different side of my music. Every track on this album is produced by me. Sickboi was a bit of, as we found out through Sickboi, that can sometimes be problematic. But every track on this album, all the instruments, I'm using no samples. All the instruments, all the drum beats, everything is created by me on this record. It's all mixed by me and it's all mastered by me. It was just kind of like, I wanted to do it for my soul, really. Like, I wanted to give myself the challenge, because Sickboi, I sent it to an amazing mixing engineer in Germany called Fred, and he helped with the mixing and mastering. But this one, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna knuckle down and do it myself. So yeah, Sickboi, Slaughterhouse, sorry, this last record, that was all mixed and mastered by me, and I'm proud of it, man. I feel like it sounds crispy. Do you know what I mean? It sounds crispy. So this whole record, I wanted to give myself the challenge of mixing and mastering the whole thing. Oh, that's actually the most important question I've read. My toe, the black nail dropped off about 4 weeks ago, and now it just looks like some sort of deformed new nail, like sprouting back into existence. It looks pretty good, actually, compared to what it did. It looks a lot healthier. Yeah, my toe is yeah, it's all right. It's doing all right. Yeah, disgusting. Hey, you fucking asked. I'm just answering questions. I'm just being a polite boy. If you're gonna ask, I'm gonna answer. We have no shame here. Yeah. The eye is a lot better than it was. None of the doctors can still really tell me what happened there. So the most probable explanation is it was an autoimmunity. So during the Slaughterhouse video, we'll watch the Slaughterhouse video later and I'll explain some bits, but during it, I got a pair of forceps into the eyeball, nearly went blind, ended up in hospital, couldn't see for about a week. Most painful thing I've ever done. Like more painful than breaking bones, than tooth infections. It is single-handedly the most pain I've ever felt, getting blinded. I do not recommend it if anyone's thinking about it. And then, really fucking annoyingly, on the shoot of Vincent's Tale, which was like the most excited I've been about a song in a long time, which still hasn't been filmed, I had this weird flare, same eye, exactly the same level of pain as when I got stabbed, but like 5 months later. Couldn't see anything out of it. Had to go and get antibiotics for it. It could be to do with the Bartonella infection. It could be to do with the fact that it never healed properly, but I went blind in my eye again for like a week, and I had to be put on like codeine, and bro, it's the most painful shit. It hurt just as much as when I got stabbed, and it's probably like an autoimmune thing, and so I just have to excuse the pun, keep an eye on it, because I just got to make sure that I know. It's just one of those things, man. But fuck me, I don't want to lose my sight. I'll have to become a pirate if that happens. Would you still accept me if I was a pirate? If so, I think I could rock the eye patch, man. No. Good. I'm glad. Pirate equality. No, someone said no. No, there's one guy that was like, no, actually me, Ren, I wouldn't be able to support you if you were a tyrannical sea pirate. I would be tyrannical as well. I'd be the most feared pirate in the seven seas. Bring back pirates. I'd definitely be making people walk the plank and swab the deck. You low-life scrubbers. You will be getting merch. You're getting a sneak peek right now of some of it. I mean, you all know this jumper because I wear it all the fucking time. It's well cozy, bro. I mean, this is a staple, and this will be available And we've updated it. We've got some. You know what I'm saying? Not a fucking lane, mate. We got some like it's been updated since the days of the Nas video, which is a long time ago. I can't believe how quickly time's going at the moment. It's fucking November. We shot that in January. That means a whole year's gone past since the Nas video when I had the prototype of this one. How the fuck did a year go past that fast? What the devil? What the juice? That's crazy talk. I mean, how have we done a year? Anyway, it's a sweater. It's got drop arms. It fits like a dream. I spent so long on the fit. Just it's French terry. If you're in the textiles industry, you'll know it's quite high quality French terry. Yeah, it's well cozy, man. And these are also French terry. These are the trackies that go with them. We got these in 2 colours. And then we got a bunch of other shit as well. Some shoes, some t-shirts, some... we got all sorts of stuff coming. Just wait until next week. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm assuming they're gonna go very, very quickly just because there was a lot of problems. We're slightly understocked, but so you know, get in there quick if you want them. But yeah, a lovely little gift for Christmas. The timing's worked out. We were meant to be dropping this in summer, but the timing's worked out quite well because we're just before Christmas. So you know, buy it for your loved ones or buy it for yourself. Fuck your loved ones. Who cares about them? You know, as long as you've got your Sickboi tracksuit, they can rot in hell. All of the loved ones. Johnson, have I frozen? I'm only joking. Don't fuck your loved ones. Unless they're not related to you. It's not frozen. Good. A beanie. There will be a beanie as well. But okay, so I'll talk a little bit about it. I've been working very hard on creating a clothing line independent of my merch. So this is going to stand on its own. You know, there's been a few musicians who have done it before. You know, like Kanye's done it with the Yeezy stuff, and I just kind of I want that to grow as its own little baby and entity, independent of me, so that it can be its own thing. You could discover it without necessarily knowing my music and stuff like that. The quality of what we're making, I believe, is like some of the stuff that follows this is even better, and I really think the quality of what we're making is awesome. Actually, there's a little sneak peek of this thing. We've been doing a lot. I don't know if anyone remembers the Bernie skate jeans from back in like the 90s. They were fire, but basically we've made like, these are a bit older sampled now, but we've got some like Bernie style skate jeans. We got the old Sickboi. I love the attention to detail on some of the like the pop we got on the back of the pockets here too. Oh, very lovely. They're basically like those baggy 90s fucking skate jeans. And we've got these in different colours as well. We got jeans in black as well. But this is denim. The cool thing about these, yeah, is they look like tracksuit bottoms. And what always bugs me in England, I don't know if it's the same in America, you'll have to let me know. What bugs me in England is they won't let you in clubs if you're wearing trackies, because I just love how trackies look, man. I'm a little chav at heart. So like, you can go into clubs with it, and it's so satisfying. I've tried it out. You queue up for the club, and then you get there and the bouncer's just like, can't come in, mate. And I'm like, why the bloody hell not, mate? And I fully know what's about to occur, because it's happened a few times now. Can't wear trackies in here, mate. And I'm like, touch my legs. And they're like, what? I'm like, touch my legs, I said. And then they give it a little rub, and they realise that it's denim, and the face drops, and they get really confused for a second, and then they go, oh, I suppose you better go in then. And then you go in, and you've broken the system. Anyway, that's what I'm excited about. Yeah. We've gone through the back door with a Trojan horse of denim. So there's lots to be excited about, basically, about these clothing lines. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's kind of like rooted in it's rooted in a lot of like oversized, like Fear of God, slightly inspired, but also like 90s hip hop, 90s skatewear, kind of Korean hip hop fashion style. I'm a bit of a, as you know, I love all things kind of like fashion from that era. So I've decided to create my own clothing line, and then Ren merch is going to be separate. There is a bunch of new stuff coming there with just like beanies and caps and just like high Ren t-shirts and all of that sort of stuff. So that will still exist, but this is kind of like an independent entity from that. And there's also some very fucking exciting stuff coming, which is accompanying it, which you'll see next week. So keep an eye out for YouTube next week at the same time. We made something that I've wanted to make for a long time visually. Yeah. It's kind of like starting to knock on those Netflix doors, basically. But I won't say too much more, but it's going to be very exciting, very immersive. Yeah, bite. Right. Has anyone got any questions? Shoot me some questions, and then after that we'll watch Slaughterhouse, and if anyone has any questions about that, then we can go through that. Vinyl, there's going to be a big restocking of vinyl for Christmas. We've been trying to work towards that. Obviously, when Slaughterhouse, the album, drops sometime next year, we'll have vinyl for that too. Touring, my health is like, it's kind of heartbreaking, really. I was hoping to be able to do shows after Secret Garden Party, but I just can't. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I don't know if that's going to be for the next foreseeable future or whatever, but like, I just pushed myself to burnout. It's what it is. Sorry, I wasn't meant to get emotional there. But it's tough when it's like, it's tough when it's the thing that you love doing the most. But it's so much. Sorry, it's so much energy and preparation that goes into pulling those things off, and I will potentially have this autoimmune condition for life. So, you know, I might be able to. Sorry, guys, I might be able to do like one-off shows and stuff. But for the foreseeable, I got to park that thought that I'll be doing tours and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a shame because I would love to be able to like bring a lot of this music to you guys in person, but we've got the next best thing, which is like being able to create these music videos, being able to create something that you guys would be able to experience through the digital domain. So yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, look, we live in a world full of ever-changing technology, medical advancements, everything. So like, there's every chance that at some point in the timeline of my life, things could turn around, you know? And but it's also, I think it's also good to be like pragmatic about these things, and it kind of protects myself and it protects my own mental health to also be kind of grounded in realism as well as optimism, which is why I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm working towards touring like in 6 months time or something like that, because if I let myself down, or if I feel like I'm letting you guys down, I feel like I've let myself down. So it's better to just kind of just be like, stay grounded with it all, you know? Yeah. So I don't mean to get, it's just, it's heavy. Like, I know that I'm in like, I guess like the times that I choose to get online and show my face, especially like on Instagram stories and that, like, I usually do it when I'm feeling like a bit in higher spirits and stuff. And man, like this past 2 months has been horrible. I won't lie. It's been horrible. But I'm getting to a better place, you know. I'm getting to a better place with it, for sure. But I have been spending most of the time in bed again, and I think because I went through that for so many years pre my stem cell transplant, and it got almost just as bad for a second there. It kind of like triggered a lot of PTSD, because there's nothing kind of scarier for me as somebody who lived in that place for years. There's nothing scarier than the thought that I could end up back there. So when my body starts shutting down, it's not really just the symptoms that I have to deal with. It's that fear or that memory of a door that I closed very fucking tightly, you know. So yeah, it's people will know it, man. Like people who are watching, who are going through things like, you know, like ME, Lyme disease, long COVID, fibromyalgia, POTS, fucking Crohn's disease, all these autoimmune conditions, they'll very much know that, like, that feeling of, even when you're having times that feel really good, there's also this kind of ever lingering feel of caution of like, you could just end up back there. And yeah, it's something that I'm working on. Obviously, I haven't emotionally completely dealt with it, otherwise I wouldn't be getting so emotional about it. But it is what it is, man. The good thing is I'm still here, and we're all still here. And yeah, man, I've been, I think it's not just my health that's been making me feel overwhelmed recently, man. It's like, I feel like everybody feels this kind of collective dissonance at the moment of like, it just feels like a little bit of a weird time. I don't know if anyone else kind of taps into that feeling. I'm not saying this to try and get pessimistic. It feels like the world in nearly every country, there's massive hyperpolarization at the moment, and I just think it's so important in a time like that where you feel this kind of sense of dis-ease in yourself, if you're going through sickness or not, if you're completely normal, but you're looking at the news and you're turning it on, or you're logging onto social media and you're seeing everyone bickering about X, Y, Z, it's very easy to start feeling a little bit just like disjointed and discombobulated, and I've definitely been feeling that recently. But I think it's so important to remember the power that we have in spaces like this, and the power that we have simply in like social spaces to be an antidote for that. And you be an antidote for that simply by talking, listening, not judging too harshly, understanding that if you walk in somebody else's shoes, you probably have the same opinions of them, and just try and be the person that fights against that cognitive dissonance and that hyperpolarization. Just trying to be somebody who is an antidote to that, because regardless of what our political stances are, what our life stances are, we can really, just by kind of not being so harshly on the offence, either taking offence or giving offence, we are contributing to a better world simply by our behaviours and by our willingness to listen, to mediate, and to love, which is the most important one, is the love. Like, it's vital. It's vital right now to give love. I don't say that lightly. Anyway. Woo! Mental musician ranting. Woo! Let's watch Slaughterhouse, innit, man? Let's watch Slaughterhouse, and then if anyone's got any questions as they pop up, like, just hit me about it. I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna bugger off because I wanna watch some of the reaction videos and stuff. Knox gave me a call before the video dropped, and he said that he was really excited about the reaction video he made. So I'm gonna get on and or I'll just watch it with you guys. If you guys want to watch it together, we can do that too, man. Yeah, we can do that too. But let's watch the video first together, all as one. Oh, what the fuck was that? Why is that doing that, mate? Okay. Holy crap. Hopefully we can do this. I didn't beta test this before we got here. I'm so glad I don't have... Wait, before I carry on, can you guys hear me? Wait, was that really loud just then, guys? Oh. Was that screen full of white noise? Tell me if it stays. Is the white noise still there now? It's still there. Oh, bollocks. Wait, is the white noise still there now? No. Alright, so what we've gathered is on the other screen the white noise exists, on this screen the white noise doesn't exist. Fuck, how do I do this? Okay, guys, tell me if when I click on this screen the white noise happens. Yeah or no? Bollocks. Alright, I don't know why that's happening. Let me investigate. Right. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this, actually. Let me... hang on. How's that? Is it gone now? Is it gone now? How about now? Is it gone? No, it's still there, or is it gone? Alright, I'm gonna have to sort this out in my own time, man. I sincerely wanted to. You know what I might do, yeah, is I might come off Twitch, put some food in the oven, and then fix it, and then come back in like 15 minutes or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's can you hear me still? Is there any fizzing? Is there any white noise static? Yes, what? Ah! Fuck me, man. Right, I'm gonna do that. I'll be back in 15 minutes, guys. Go and do whatever you want to do for 15 minutes. Have a cup of tea, have a cigarette, have a, you know, whatever you need to do. Satisfy yourselves. And I'll be back in 15 minutes, hopefully with this situation sorted out. Mwah. Adios. Look at this turning into an informative, educational, medical stream. Is the sound alright? It's not burning your eardrums off, is it? Yeah? The sound alright? Methylene blue. Is there anything on this that could be bad for me to show on camera? I don't think so. Anyway, just in case. This is methylene blue. It kind of just helps with mitochondria. It helps with killing off pathogens in your body. And it's bright blue, and it turns your pee blue and your tongue blue if you let the pill burst, which you shouldn't. But I did, because I'm fucking reckless, mate. But yeah, so it helps if you combine it with red light therapy, and even with hyperbarics, it really helps. I think it donates a molecule to the ATP chain or something like that with mitochondria, so it helps your body create more energy, which is always good when you are fighting an illness. The more energy that you have, the better. So it helps there. It's known to delay neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and stuff like that. It helps your blood carry oxygen. So it's got lots of benefits, and it also targets things associated to Lyme disease. It can make you feel a little bit worse when you first start taking it. This isn't a recommendation to go and take methylene blue if your doctor hasn't told you to, but my doctor has, and that's why my tongue is blue. But yeah, it's good to combine. I'm on like I'm in my health nerd arc right now in a massive way. Like with my, if any one of you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've got my hyperbaric oxygen chamber. I've got an infrared sauna. I'm using stuff called red light therapy, which helps, again, helps inflammation, helps ATP production, helps mitochondria production, helps create collagen, keeps you looking young, which is good if you're in your 30s. Lots of benefits. Some people use it just for anti-aging stuff. So they use it for their skin, they use it for hair loss, they use it for stuff like that. But I'm primarily using it for its cognitive and inflammation benefits. The same with hyperbarics. They're not a cure, but they are very helpful to manage autoimmunity. Yeah, man. Of course, late 30s counts. I'm nearly halfway, man. So we'll have no age discrimination here, alright? My fight against Meta. I mean, I haven't been banned off Instagram. There was about 15 things in the past 48 hours now. Maybe more now, actually. Posts, stories that got removed. And it's difficult to know whether it's coming from Meta or if it's probably coming for somebody mass reporting the stuff. But because we've communicated to someone at Meta, they won't be deleting my account, which is good because I spent fucking ages building the following that it's got. But it's all about pretty sus. But I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I've been put on the problem list by the deep state. They've seen me as too much of a threat because I say things like, "Hey guys, maybe we should be nice." Hey, just a weird, crazy out there thought. Maybe we should be nicer to each other and try and work out a way to build a world with less conflict, and maybe stop making money the messiah of everything, and actually put human life, human well-being before those things. But it's a crazy world we live in when saying things like that make people shout at you. But I get a lot of people shouting at me for saying things like that. How dare I? How fucking dare I? You know what I mean? But we should be creating a world where we don't put profit over ourselves. Money is a tool created by people, and it dictates how we decide to live. It overrides morality. It creates suffering if we let it. It's a tool. It's a means of trade that we've let become far more powerful and convoluted than it deserved to be, and we suffer for it. And we need to stop giving it so much precedence and power, because the power is here, baby. The power's with us. It's how we interact with each other. It's from creativity. We're all creative beings, and we can all carve out a much better world than the one that we've ended up in, and the one that we've created, and the one that we ended up with. Because you have a lot of systems. Plato said this, that all systems will inevitably reach a point where they start internally combusting, because it is within, Plato believed it was in human nature for all systems to eventually become totalitarian and then collapse in on themselves. It believed that all systems will eventually abuse those power. And we're kind of, it feels like there was a very golden age for capitalism. And I just like, sorry, I'm going to go on a big rant now. Feel free to tune out if you don't want to listen. But capitalism is almost like Monopoly, right? And funnily enough, the board game Monopoly, I'm not an anti-capitalist, I just want to make that very clear. The board game Monopoly was created by an anti-capitalist, and it was created to show that by playing this game there are really no winners or very few winners, and but it was misconstrued and bought by capitalism, changed and sold back to the people as a very sort of like pro-profit. It happens with lots of things. There's a song mine called Crucify Your Culture, which is like they sell the voice of Huxley, they sell the voice of Orwell, they sell the voice of Guevara. It's the same sort of thing. You commoditize these voices who are very loudly going, guys, by the way, you're heading towards the end of a fucking cliff. Guys, heading towards and then you turn that into a product. It's very ironic. It's very bittersweet. You turn that voice that's going, you probably shouldn't work towards the end of the cliff, and then it contributes to walking towards the end of the cliff. Anyway, tangent there. The board game Monopoly, you reach a point inevitably where the free market becomes monopolized by certain corporations, big corporations, which is what we're seeing now, is that a lot of independent businesses are suffering, no matter what area in, farming, technology, clothing. It becomes live music venues. They're shutting down all over the place because of big companies like Live Nation. If you're watching this, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot for future gigs, but it is the case. Monopolies create a situation where you have the power or the distribution of a free market in the hands of very few. It's like in the game Monopoly, where somebody starts winning and all of a sudden it's less fun for the people who aren't winning anymore, because it becomes quite difficult to navigate the board. It's a very simplified way to look at a free market, but it's actually what's happening right now is that you have entire industries that are being bought up, and independent companies who succeed are then approached by these bigger market companies, and they are enveloped into the system. It's like Innocent Smoothie being bought by Coca-Cola. And eventually there's no real true competition. There's just a market dictated by the owners of the market, right? Then you do not live in a free market, and all the juicy goodness and innovation that comes with capitalism, it starts to suffer. So I agree with capitalism when you're at the start of the game, towards the middle of the game. When you start reaching the end of the game, that's when it becomes problematic. I'm not advocating. A lot of people hear things like this and they go, well, socialism doesn't work, fucking communism doesn't work. I'm not advocating socialism or communism. Those systems do fall victim to corruption quicker than capitalism, because it's been shown time and time again in history. What I'm for is using the power of collective intelligence, using the power of creativity that each human is blessed with, using a hive mind to create something better, which uses the successful elements of each, combines them and creates something much better, which puts human well-being, morality above profit. Because that's the problem with capitalism, is that we put profit and power above the well-being of the collective good. If you reduce it down to its simplified form, that's the most problematic part of it for me. But there's also, I know there are a lot of people out there that love it, and it has a lot of benefits, and it does drive a lot of innovation, and it can be argued that the effort you put in is returned, which is some of the benefits of it. But when those systems start becoming totally owned by monopolies, it's much harder for the little guy, the working class man, to succeed, unless you obviously you can still raise to the top, but then there becomes the danger of being in this system, being enveloped, and then becoming part of the problem, in that if I succeed and succeed and succeed to the detriment of somebody else succeeding, I don't believe that's a healthy system. I believe that my success should also create success. It should be a contagious thing, and that's why I think that we need fundamental changes in the system that we have, because it's very obvious that we're reaching the end. It's like coming back to the Plato thing. We're reaching the point where corruption has started to take hold of these systems of being, and abuse of power has started to take control. And we're all here now reading the news saying things like World War III imminent, because the players of the game who are a little bit higher up that ladder, that monopoly ladder, who own more pieces, more land, more property, have decided so. And yet it is the everyday common working class people who want no part in those games who suffer the effects of war, of things like nuclear war. And the power, make no mistake, the power is in our hands. The power is in our control. It's in you, me. The power lies with the majority. The majority are usually the people who aren't abusing these systems of power. The power usually lies with the people who are just trying to fucking make an honest living, get through the day. You know, and it's these people who need to mobilize more effectively, unify, and make their voices congruent, not dissonant, not arguing over who you fucking voted for, but collectively, together, unified, so that we can create something much better, much happier, where everyone has access to good healthcare, everyone has access to good housing, everyone has access to good opportunity, still using some good elements of capitalism so that you're rewarded if you work harder. Sure, that's great. But we can create a much better world, and it starts with us. It doesn't start with voting every 4 years for an electoral cycle where the game is already kind of weighted in opposite direction and owned by corporate interests, which often do not put your well-being above their profit margins. Even in the health sector is one of the most insidious examples of this. Big companies like Pfizer, monopolies upon medication, monopolies upon patents, and things like the FDA cracking down on a lot of independent health, innovative schemes and stuff like that. I think it's fucking criminal, and that's because we live primarily in a world motivated by profit and not primarily motivated by the collective good of humanity and people, which it needs to be, man. It needs to be. It needs to be motivated by the good, the collective good of our species. Anyway, ran over. Sorry about that. It's just been very much in my periphery at the moment with what's been going on. And by the way, very, very quickly before I move on, I don't think the electoral process is as important as the fallout of the electoral process and how that leads to us interacting with each other. I think the 4-year cyclic electoral process has less power than the fallout, just saying this again to make it stick, than the fallout that it has of separating us, right? That's the most problematic thing with the electoral is how hyperpolarized and how we're all shouting it. It doesn't fucking matter if you consider yourself left, right, woke, whatever. It doesn't matter as much as how you communicate with each other and how you treat each other. It's very reductive. It seems like a very reductive thing to say, but it is very, very simple. We just need to start treating each other with a lot more respect, compassion, and communicating in a much, much better way with each other. Because the opposite example, the only other alternative is militantly taking a side and not stopping until the other side is obliterated, and then your side will eventually fragment in its opinions, and the same cycle will repeat. That's what will happen. You can only succeed in the way that things are going is if the other side gets obliterated. There's no mediation, and it's moving more and more to a hyperpolarized state. There needs to be better mediation, and there needs to be better communication, and there just needs to be more love. There just needs to be more love and blue tongues. Anyway, as you can see, I'm a bit manic at the moment, but hopefully for the right reasons, man. You know, I don't claim to be a holder of a lot of knowledge, but I do know the sort of world that I would love to see, and it's not the one that I'm in right now, basically, but I believe that we can change that. I really, really do. I don't believe we're at mercy of electoral processes, and I don't believe that we just have to wait until the powerful of the world decide if we're going to enter a war or not. I think our voices and our actions are incredibly powerful. With that being said, let's go and listen to Slaughterhouse, and then shoot me some questions and shit. Okay, how's the sound? Yeah, we haven't got any hissing. All right, let's watch Slaughterhouse together, man, and then share it, stream it. This is the first song of the album. The album's going to be very fucking. It's going to be an exciting rollout. We've got some really cool visuals, really cool videos. Collaborated with some really cool artists on this album. But anyway, let me put this over here. Let me full screen this batch. Look, there we go. There's Putin over there. Looming nuclear attacks. Lovely fun. All good fun. Let's listen to some music and pretend like the world is not on fire. Oh, we got a fish tank. We'll go to some reactions in a sec, but let's first go to the video. Let's go. How's the sound, guys?
Somebody, anyone help. Anyone help, I've been going through hell. Hell, I've been going through. Hell, I've been going through. I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been feeling like deleting myself. Man, I've been going through hell.
Walls are closing for the chosen bodies.
This scene was cool. We had like a camera on a massive bit of scaffolding super far away, so we had that super slow zoom in as well. Reactors, I know that there'll be a load of reactors trying to break this down. Elysium, Tartarus, and Gaia. Does anyone in chat know what that means? We've got a little bit of historic knowledge and language. No? Greek mythology. Yeah, it's the different realms of spiritual existence. We've got Elysium, which is the best part of heaven, essentially. And Tartarus, which in Greek mythology is the worst part of hell. And then we have Gaia. And this is Gaia. Earth is Gaia. So the three realms. Its relation to the song. The song obviously is a lot of, it's kind of like the introspective world of having a chronic illness. Lyrically, that's kind of what it symbolizes for me. It can symbolize whatever. It's art. It's open to interpretation, but that's what it symbolizes for me. And the three realms of hell, of heaven, and earth. Hell in chronic illnesses for me is when you're really in the symptoms and you can't really see a way out. Heaven is hope. Heaven is the greener grass that you're always striving for. Heaven is the days where your symptoms are merciful and you feel normal and nice. And Gaia is dancing between the two of those things and trying to make sense of it all. Gaia's earth. Gaia is almost the luminal space between Elysium and Tartarus. The luminal space between heaven and hell is where we live right now, trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing here. And this is a very sort of Kendrick Lamar inspired intro. Somebody, anyone help, let's go.
Somebody, anyone help. Anyone help, I've been going through hell. Hell, I've been going through. Hell, I've been going through. I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been feeling like deleting myself. Man, I've been going through hell.
Walls are closing for the chosen. Bodies ripped up, zipped and frozen. One by one we'll all fall down. Welcome.
Also, I just want to big up Kit. Like, her voice on this is fire, man. Yeah, Kit's on this album a fair bit, man. When I was in Canada, she was just like, we made some fucking awesome songs. Her voice is great, and her like melodies are so good as well, man. It's a bit like, she reminds me a little bit of Skylar Grey, who does a lot of stuff with Eminem. It's just like one of those voices that is understated but just like fits and works, man. And she did the artwork and stuff for this as well, man. Fucking awesome. Very, very cool.
Come to the slaughterhouse.
I'm just blowing my own trumpet here. I love that beat, man. I love that bass. That I pushed it as far as I could without it being it's just on the cusp of being a bit too bass heavy, but I was just like, fucking crank that bass. I wanted it to just drop hard. So yeah, I love that. And the smashing glass sounds and stuff, man. On Patreon, I'll probably make like a beat making tutorial of how I put this together, but all from scratch, no loops, all from scratch.
Roll over shot.
This is the scene that blinded me. There was a close-up where people were like holding all these instruments above my eye. Someone had glasses on and they just prong right in the eyeball a pair of rusty forceps. Luckily, this was like towards the end of the shoot day. The shot that I did with my eye streaming was the head in the hand. I'll show you it when we get to it. But yeah, man, I carried on filming for about an hour after we did that because otherwise I would have lost like tens of thousands of pounds. But fuck me, it hurt.
Of shattered glass, a masterclass of surviving inside a plaster cast. Martial artist, Arkham Asylum, night's darkest. Half-heartedly, haphazardly start this. Shallow tombs, open wounds that don't heal. Cold steel incision, a mountain made a molehill. Through fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive with the mouth to mouth. I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold. Goalpost moving, grow up then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black holes. Tobacco, I light up with my hat low. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing, while the sword of Damocles is beckoning, hackling thoughts that torture.
That's my favourite lyric in the whole thing, man. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing, while the sword of Damocles is beckoning. Nephilim in the Bible were the creation of when angels had sex with men, had sex with women, and they created a new species called the Nephilim, which were a hybrid of angel and man. I really like that sort of mythology. I think it's really cool. And the sword of Damocles is kind of like this impending sense of doom that comes with success. So it was quite like it's with when you're heading in the right direction, the forces that be which try and pull you from that direction is the sword of Damocles. So I really like that as a concept, because it's definitely something that I felt. It's like when people say, oh, again, looping this back to sort of like the world that we live in, people are like, when you make it, that's when you're going to be happy. When you reach your successful point, all the things, or when you've got money, that's when you're going to be happy. I do think that money creates happiness if you're living below the poverty line, because then money can access to health, access to holidays, clothes, things that you want. But then once you get above a certain line, it's like Maslow's rule. Is it Maslow's hierarchy of needs? I think it is. It's that like you reach a certain point where actually it can also bring problems with it, and being in the public eye can bring a lot of problems with them too, because you have to, all of a sudden you have to navigate a world that you really weren't used to, and you have to start navigating tens of thousands of opinions. You have to start navigating much. It's not I'm not trying to complain either, because I've lived below the poverty line for many years, and it's very fucking difficult, especially when you have a chronic illness. But it's just a very different kettle of fish, basically. So that's the sword of Damocles for me, is like, with this new success, it comes a whole host of new things that you never thought that you would have to think about. Yeah, I really like that.
Your porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come king that brings the contrast to conquer his sins? I bring whispers caught by the wind aboard the feet.
This was the whole reason I wanted to make this music video, is because I saw a bit of artwork where someone was vacuum packed, and I was like, I really want to be vacuum packed. And I was like, how much to make it happen? I will do anything to make it happen. And we made it happen. I was vacuum packed. I was put into a big fucking plastic Ziploc bag with a gas mask on, and I was vacuum packed, man. The dream. Living the dream.
Toss and here lies the body of Ren. And pain makes men out of boys that were lost. It's across to the homies. And some get body bags, zip bag tagged, and it still hurts low key. These concrete streets breed wolves from sheep in the land of the holy. And the legend don't die. I love that guy. This one's for the broski. Paddle to metal, you know how he. The devil and Jezebel coming for. A jackal is hiding inside of my. Taking your rosy cheeks, painting them blue, turning your click into skeleton crew.
This bit's fire. Massive shout out. The VFX here are so sick, man. Like that's just me. That's me many times. Nodding my head. Slightly inspired by the Kendrick. Is it Humble? I think the video is Humble. Yeah, love that scene.
Stripping the soul from the base of your shoes. So watch my tongue, my words are laced with. I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the booth. Switch up the star like vice.
Right, this scene is the scene where fucking you can't see it, but water is leaking down one side of my face. This whole shot, I was in a tremendous amount of pain, with a cut on my cornea, which you can't see. Try and have a look at the lifted up head, because it's facing the camera. There was a big swollen eye. This whole scene, I'm in excruciating amounts of pain, but I just had to get it done.
Sex and pressure, heavy lift, tricep, bicep, I flex up. Thunder and lightning, writing on Tesla. Connect, direct, pit horse, disconnect. Working in a lab, I'm mad, bad lad, Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head, that collector. 1,000,000 degrees, graduate semester. I pull it in the knee till you kneel to.
You can kind of see it, man. You can kind of like, wait. Let me try and find a point. This eye was just, I think it was this eye. It was just totally fucking swollen. And I was just trying to make... I mean, it was a decapitated head, so it kind of worked, but like... Yeah. It was funny as well, because so many of the people filming were just like, Ren, just go to hospital, don't film. And I was like, nah, I'm filming. And they were like, no, we should stop. I think a lot of people were also nervous that if they blinded me, they would feel very bad. But I was just very adamant that I had to finish the scene.
You ate some master, a bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say.
People like to pick up as humanity erodes.
OKK with an AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Killer goals, giddy sick of the most. QB quicker on the trigger, click. Empty chamber, fill it reload. I cock it in hole, bullet in the chamber explode. And burrow through the pricks, go, let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, soccer making crack. When I spread, that's the bread and the butter and I bled. For the love of music dead, undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker, G. Sick, yeah I'm sick. I think I told you that I'm sick. Sucker click, and when I pull up on your click. Click, homicidal traumatic. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.
I love that bit as well. I love that bit. Yeah, so that's the music video, guys. That bit, I don't know if you caught it. You probably caught it. The theme is me killing myself throughout the video. How we are our own worst enemy sometimes, especially in the realm of mental health and things like that. But it's and it's also I really liked this shot as well. It's when I shoot one of me and then all of the incarnations of me die as well. I think that VFXly, I don't know, I just think that's really cool, and metaphorically that's really cool as well. But yeah, man, I had a lot of fun making that video. Have any of you guys got any questions about any of it? A murder fractal, yeah, man. I like that shot, yeah. Who filmed it? So this was a rare one that Sam or Luke didn't do. It is a production team in Canada, because we filmed this out in Canada. I think it was like May or April we shot this one this year, and it was a production team called Ramble. They're fucking great guys. We shot about 3 different music videos out there with them. This is the first of 3, and the other 2 are coming soon. They've got kind of this kind of same feeling, which is a bit like grindhouse horror, like 80s. I don't know if you ever saw the Tarantino grindhouse movies, like the one where that girl's got a machine gun for a leg. I've forgotten the name of it. They were really cool, man. Death Proof, yeah. I took a lot of inspiration from that for the visuals of this whole album. We kind of stay in that same theme. Just like 80s horror, man. I love it. I fucking love those sorts of movies. So that's kind of the vibe that we went for. I think they did an amazing job with the music video. So big them up for the lighting and scenes. Edited by yours truly. I think I did a good job there too. Yeah, man. I'm fucking excited. I was in the vacuum bed, I don't know, about 40 minutes, something like that. 40 minutes. I actually liked it. I liked it in there. It felt like a big hug. It felt like a big plastic hug. It was nice. Yeah. Are some of the lyrics at the beginning mashed together from songs for the Sickboi album? Not intentionally. I mean, I do a thing a lot where I will like... Hang on, let me move the screen over here so I'm not looking over there. I do a thing a lot where I use reoccurring themes and lyrics in my... I really like to do that, like reinforcing certain lyrics and themes. Almost like a little signature throughout songs. I don't do it because I'm lazy. It is intentional. Where there'll be like a line here or that makes you think of another song. I really like... It's almost like the Marvel universe, you know, where you have like things that cross over. I like to do that lyrically. It's just something. How bad did... I don't actually know who nearly blinded me, and I'll tell you why. I said... They were like, do you want to watch back the footage of it happening? And I was like, I don't actually want to know who did it. Because if I know who did it, I might like subconsciously hold a grudge. Because it fucking hurt. So I was like, it's probably better you just don't tell me who did it. Because at the time I was so in the performance that I didn't know. It was just like fucking yanked into my eye. So I was like, don't tell me, because I don't want to harbour any feelings of ill will Just like. So I don't actually know who stabbed me. They know, and it's eating them alive every day, I bet. Because now, fucking autoimmunity, I've got to watch this now for life. Thanks fucking bunch, mate. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. Whatever. Actors, they were people on the team in Canada, people part of the Ramble team. Yeah, good people. I did say clit. Funnily enough, yeah, I showed that song to somebody and it said, suck a dick at the end of it. I think I told you that I'm sick. Suck a dick. And someone was like, what if it was clit? And I was like, all right then. So I just overdubbed clit. It's as simple as that. There's not really much more to that story. It's clit instead of dick. Clit for the win. Yeah, underused word. Real quick, recommend me a sci-fi book. I recommend Slaughterhouse-5 or Mother Night or sci-fi is like my favourite genre actually. I could anything by Kurt Vonnegut, man. I love Kurt Vonnegut. I love Huxley. I love Orwell. It's kind of like the dystopia side of sci-fi. Matey Boy, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I've forgotten his name, but I read that recently. That was good. Philip K. Dick, that's it. Philip K. Dick, yeah. Yeah. Sirens of Titan, that's the one. Sirens of Titan was great, actually. I love that one. That is that the one where we have like the Tralfamadorians first come in and he goes to. They try and colonize Mars. That one was fire. That's actually one of my favorite Kurt Vonnegut books. I think it's a underrated one. I haven't seen the Joker 2. I'll tell you why, man. Wait, let me put it on big screen, and let me get this over here. 2 seconds so I can look at the camera. Wait, I'm trying to navigate 2 screens here. Yeah, oh. Fuck me. Sorry about that. Hello. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. Mars. Kurt Vonnegut. Joker 2, that was it. Yeah. I purposely didn't watch it because everyone told me it was shit. And some people whose opinions I really trust told me it was shit. So I was like, I really liked the first Joker movie. I thought it was cool. So I really like Joaquin Phoenix. So I thought I just wouldn't do that. Yeah, I might when it comes to TV and it's free, I probably will. Yeah. Funnily enough, Big Push reunion. I was with Romain today. We were hanging out for a little bit, man. I'm always knocking on that door, man. I'm always bothering the boys to do it, but Romain is fully up for it. I'm fully up for it. Goran and Glenn, they're the ones you got to convince, man. Glenn's in Ireland working in a pub, living the Irish life with his wife. And Goran is a nomad who likes to travel the world. So like, you'll have to convince them. If they're up for it, like I've said this multiple times, I'm always up for it. Always up for it. So yeah, man. I mean, me and Romain are fully in, man. If you can convince the other guys to come down to Brighton for more than like a month, we can probably do some shit. You know, I'm always up for a bit of a bus. You know, I was talking about touring and stuff earlier and got upset. Busking is one of the things that I can do because, like, I can just decide in the moment if I go. And it's also, I just improvise. Pretty much like all of my busking sessions, I never play the same thing. Or I never play a song the same way. It's pretty much mostly like, I know the words and I know the chords, but all of it in the moment is just improvising. So it doesn't take a lot of work. So, like, busking is something that I will still do, but I don't really like going by myself, man. Like, for me, busking is a collaborative experience when I get the most joy out of it myself. I don't get so much joy out of it when I'm just by myself. I really love bouncing off someone else. So yeah. I like if I'm gonna start busking again, it's gonna be very fucking different, because while I was busking last time, like I probably had like a 10th of the size of the following I've got now. So it's gonna be fucking manic if I go now. Secondly, like I don't know what the secondly was, just that one. Yeah. But yeah, I'm always up for a big push reunion, man. I love those boys. And I love doing it, man. It's fucking great fun. The little push. Yeah, me and Romain have spoken. I mean, me and Romain went busking ourselves a few times too. There's just something so satisfying, man, about having a drum kit and bass and stuff there. There was just something magical about that synergy of us four, man. Which is probably why we haven't. You know, like I have been busking with Romain a couple of times, but I think the sentiment is the same, that we all love playing together as the four of us. Like, there's just something kind of magic about that combination. And we kind of want to do it like that, you know. That's the way that we learn all the songs. That's the way that we... What's that big thumb that appeared on the screen? Where did that come from? Why does that keep happening? What are you? Oh, okay. Anyway. Yeah. The high note in War Pigs. Which ones? We both did. Because Goran did the "Did it with my woman," but I did the Jim was gathered in the masses. You know. Woo. Did you guys listen to the Tyler the Creator's new album? There was a song on there that was definitely inspired by War Pigs. The one was like for the hook. Fire song, bro. What was that song called? I forgot what the name of the song. But yeah, in the busking version, Goran did the high. Finish with my woman, 'cause she wouldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm insane because I am fawning all the time. Etc. He did the high one, I did the low one. But then I did the Jim was gathered in the masses, just like witches' eye black masses. You know, all that shit. All that shit, mate. Oh, are we peaking? Hang on. 1, 2. It's because the Aussie voice is loud, innit? Let me try and turn that down. Generals gathered in their masses. Are we still peaking? Thing is, I can't hear shit. Is it still peaking? This is killing me because I'm a fucking sound tech nerd, right? So I'll normally like spend ages making sure the sound sounds right. This is the first time I've ever used this mic. I don't know what it sounds like. I don't know. I haven't EQ'd it properly or anything. So like, I just want you guys to know that internally right now, I'm suffering. But it's okay. My go-to is always Frank Sinatra. I think that I'm just putting on an act, and really all this hip-hop-y business that the kids are listening to, that's not really for me. And I'm really a crooner. I always was a crooner. It's just that I haven't actually like let myself realise it properly yet. One day I will, and I'll stop with all this fucking nonsense. Is my food done yet? Maybe. I'll check it in a second. Wait, let me put it on the low temperature actually, that's a good point. Fly. It's alright, it's not burnt. Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I cherish, all I worship and adore. So funny, I keep seeing my blue tongue and forgetting that it's there. In other words, yeah, I don't know why Frank Sinatra's my go-to on this. How's the volume, by the way? I just fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 4. How is it? I heard, I saw you gave my letters back, and my LP records and they're all scratched. I don't see a point in another day when you don't listen to what I say. I guess you call it confidence. To go on living doesn't make no sense. I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing you. I can't stand losing you. I guess this is our last goodbye, and you don't care, so why should I? And you'll be so sorry when I'm dead, and all this guilt will be on your head. I guess you'd call it suicide, but I'm too full to swallow my pride. I can't stay losing. I can't stay losing. I can't. No, oh, yeah. Yes, it, I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing. I can't. No, oh, yeah. Can't stand losing you. Oh, by the way, I was chopping the other day. Chopped a big hole in my finger. It stopped bleeding now. It's bleeding for a little while there. Look, you can still see it, man. Be careful when you chop, guys. Lord, the brother. Next time I'm gonna look into this sound, because it'll be nice to dial this in properly. I don't know if you guys, if there's any like proper old school followers of what I do, you'll remember back in the days before High ran, where there was like, I had a stream room that was totally black, that was like covered in chalk on the walls and stuff, and back then I used to have a much better setup, basically. Like, I had reverb on the microphones. I mean, those videos are still on YouTube, some people might have seen them, but it was just basically a much nicer. So I'll if I end up doing more of these, I'm gonna try and fix the sound just so it's as good as it can be, so that I don't internally feel like I'm combusting. Because I want the sound to sound lovely, bloody lovely. Yeah, they were nice, man. I really liked the the concept of just like having multiple people come in and just jam in. Maybe I could do, maybe talking of Remain, maybe I could just do one of those with Remain soon. That'd be nice, man. It'd be nice to talk to him and get him on stream as well. That was good vibes, man. That was good vibes. I'd like to do one with Sickboi from the Skinner Brothers, man. He's great. I don't say that lightly, by the way, man. He's we've been working on a few things, and he's so good at coming up with melodies and ideas. Like, really fucking hidden gem, man. If you haven't checked out Skinner Brothers, like, well worth it, man. He's a very, very clever, very, very clever person, very, very creative person, and yeah, man, awesome. But yeah, so we've been working on like a little collaboration project. This actually initially it was just going to be a song, but now it's turned into a lot more than that. I'm not sure when we'll start releasing it, but we're just kind of chipping away at it. But very sort of like, I think we're on the same page with a lot of things creatively, and we probably have a lot of the same influences as well, because it's just that I don't necessarily lean into those influences too much in my solo music, but I did more so with the Big Push. But like, you know, I grew up listening to a lot of punk music. I grew up listening to a lot of Britpop and stuff like that, which really comes across in his shit, man. And it's been really nice. Or like Jack White, listen to a lot of Jack White, Jamie T, Arctic Monkeys, Blur, and Strokes and all that sort of stuff. So it's been really nice opening those doors again and kind of and creating music that kind of occupies that space. Fucking awesome, man. Yeah. Emo Ren is kind of this album. Like, there's a lot of sad boy tracks on Slaughterhouse. It's yeah, man. Like I say, like, Slaughterhouse was probably it's like one of 3 hip hop tracks on the whole album. The rest are songs, and some of them have got that sort of like proper sad boy vibe, and some of them, yeah, it's just interesting. It's been really nice to take music into it. And I was listening to a lot of last year, you'll know, like I was listening to a lot of like Fred again as well, so there's like a slight EDM influence in there as well, but it's a big mix, man. But I'm playing my guitar a lot more on this album than I did in Sickboi. There's fucking guitar solos all over the place, man. Actually, some of my favourite guitar solos I've ever written. So look forward to that, mate. They're all coming. My food's fine. Whoever's saying food, I turned it right down. I turned the heat volume down. Food's fine. Merch is coming very soon. Next week. In fact, keep an eye. Follow Sickboi HQ on Instagram, and go on Sickboi. I'm on sickboi.com. Just Sickboi as it's spelt, no spaces.com. Keep watching that page. There's going to be some exciting things coming. There's a video dropping next Thursday it's going to be very interesting. I want you guys to check that out. It's cool, man. More tongue. The new tails, man. So, as a lot of you will know, I had to cut Vincent's tail. We just had to abandon filming halfway through it. So I'm trying to get to a place where I'm stable with my health, because I lost about £20,000. That was one of the most expensive shoots we've done, and because my eye flared literally as we were filming, I had to abandon the shoot, and a lot of things weren't covered by insurance. So I lost a lot of money, man. So I just have to wait for the time that it makes sense to bring that. I want to do it right, man. If I do it, I've got to do it right. I don't want to cut corners on it. So yeah. Fucking hell, we suffer for the music, man, for music videos. I'm so much of a perfectionist, man. Like, I really am. I won't do it unless it's done right. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to cost a lot of money, but this particular idea did need it to cost that much because of the size of the crew and the extras and everything and the travelling there. Like, there just wasn't any way to cut any more corners. So we, sadly, yeah, I just had to take the hit financially, and so I'm just trying to wait for a time with my health that I know that there's no risk of that happening again. Because if that happened 2 times in a row, I've lost 40k, man. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm not gambling there. I'm waiting until I'm in a good place and then I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Is it in the style of the previous tales? The first one, it's. I don't want to give too much away here, but like, it is. But it's also really pushing the boundaries of sound in terms of a live space. You know how like Money Game 3 was different from anything that I'd ever done, but it was still live. Imagine that, but not Money Game 3 at all. It's very, very different. I don't want to say too much about what happens, but it's really fucking musically cool, and it takes it into a very unexplored territory for me. Yeah. So it's gonna be the whole tales is, it's really interesting, man. And the narrative is one that I think is really important in the modern world. It's gonna be good. Yeah. If you like the first tale of Jenny and Screech, it's it kind of occupies the same kind of like feeling, but a totally different story, a totally different character. Yeah, I'd love to work with Liv again, man. Liv's gone a bit off the grid. I've also gone very off the grid. So like 2 very antisocial people meeting sometimes takes a bit of effort. Despite how fucking chatty I am on chat, by the way, I am a very antisocial person, even though I may not seem it. I'm just trying to read questions and stuff now. What about? Oh, someone said like, what about Dax and Tom McDonald? I feel like the space that their music is occupying isn't really like. I don't mean this in a critical way. You know, like it's different strokes for different folks, man. It's not really my thing in terms of the subject matters and stuff. Like, it's not. Yeah, it's not really my thing. So I don't know. If the right thing came about, potentially, but it's not. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Have I freed Josh yet? I'm not telling you. Tash Sultana is a whole different story, man. I'd fucking love to collaborate with Tash Sultana. I think she's phenomenal, but I haven't really been keeping up with her recently. But the old, like, you know what I love about Tash is just the freedom of it. It feels like when she's especially the live session stuff, it's like it's just pouring out in that moment. You can feel that, man. I love that, man. It's why I love Jeff Buckley's live performances more than his studio recordings. There's something about the freedom of expression in those performances that are beautiful, man. Beautiful. Azaf, yeah, man. We touched base. I touched base with Mike Love as well. Do you guys know Mike Love? He's like a reggae singer who did Permanent Holiday. And he wanted to do a track as well. So maybe that will happen as well. Do you know that, guys? The guy that was like, Permanent Holiday. And also, do you guys know Anime Cantrite? I'm going to fucking... I really want to play one of their songs, man. I touched base with this guy as well. I love him so much, man. Hang on. Let's try and get this. Check this out. I fucking love this guy. I would love to do a track with him. Where we go. Let's go for this one. Check this guy out. Fucking brilliant.
Ich weiß, ich hab gesagt.
I'm just gonna dish my food up while I'm playing this, guys. But enjoy it. It's brilliant.
Ich bin heute am Start, aber ich komm nicht klar und da, wo ich schon 1000-mal war, will ich heute nicht hin, weil da immer die gleichen Leute sind und weil ich müde bin. Weil ich müde bin. Ich glaube, ich geh heute nicht mehr tanzen. Ich glaube, ich geh heute nicht mehr raus. Ich glaube, ich rauche heute Pflanzen und bleib allein zu Haus. Ich glaube, ich geh heute nicht mehr tanzen. Ich geh heute nicht mehr raus. Ich rauche heute Pflanzen und bleib allein zu Hause. Ich bin auch immer so müde von gestern. Ich suche bei Netflix nach einem Western. Die Jungs mit Revolvern helfen, vergessen, dass man trinkt, um zu vergessen. Mein Magen sagt, ich müsste was essen. Ernähr mich seit Wochen nur noch von Resten. Vietnamesisch neben dem Bett. Ich hab nie was im Kühlschrank. Ich warte noch immer darauf, dass ich wieder fühlen kann.
Yeah, anyway, Alan May Cantright, Henning May. Yeah, man, we touch base. And there's potentially, if we end up in the same place ever, I'd love to do something with him, man. It's funny, like a lot of the collaborations that I want to do the most are actually probably outside of the hip hop space. There are definitely people inside the hip hop space that I'd love to work with. I love to do a track with NF. I love to do a track with Kendrick. I love to track with Method Man. I love to track with Eminem, obviously. Yeah, there are a lot of people that there are some people that are so good that like, or like stylistically that I love that I still wouldn't collaborate with because it's almost like I know what flavor I am, if that makes sense. So it's like if you're making a dish and you have two really strong herbs, they might not necessarily work together. So a lot of my favorite artists, I wouldn't necessarily say that I would collaborate with them because I don't know if we'd complement each other in the right way. But I think it would definitely work with like, I feel like me and NF are quite similar. That would work. And I feel like me and Meth would really, I'd love to do something with Method Man. Just putting it out there. I know he's done some cool shit. And then in the UK, there's loads of artists that I'll be potentially working with, like Ocean Wisdom, and we've been meaning to do that for a while. We just never got around to it. There's a rapper in Brighton called RD, and we chatted a little bit about doing a song as well. So yeah, there's a lot of people in around and about in that scene that I would like to do songs with, but I'm more excited. Like a thing came up with Sublime recently, and if that comes to fruition, I'd be really, really fucking happy. Like my old like night, I'd love to do something with John Frusciante. I've let that been known for a long time. I'd love to do something. Oh, there was another one that came out as well. Yeah. Oh, my mic is quiet. Yeah, sorry, I turned it down. Wait, how's that? I turned it down while I was doing the singing. Wait, is that better? That should be better. Awesome. Yeah, Sting. Yeah, I'd fucking love to do something with the Police or with Sting. Very much. I'd love to do something with fucking John Lydon. His voice is still there, you know? The old Johnny Rotten. Even though he's become a massive fucking Tory. That was a funny character development arc, man. Johnny Rotten was the last person that I expected to see being very patriotically British. We all change, man. We all change. No Guerreros would be dope. I was talking, funnily enough, it never really came to fruition, but there was a little moment where me and Robbie Williams were voice noting each other and writing a song back and forth through voice notes. He's a really nice guy, man. And he was like chatting to me in a really nice, supportive way, and we started shooting ideas, but that never came to fruition. I guess I got kind of sidetracked by health stuff, and he got sidetracked by being a pop star, you know. But that'll be cool. I like Robbie, man. He's a fucking great guy. Aurora's great. Aurora's really good. Yeah, I love her stuff. I love in the same domain, I really love Agnes Obel as well. Do you guys know Agnes Obel? There's that one song. Where's that? I love this so much. This is beautiful, man. If people don't know Agnes, get to know, man. She's probably who inspired Aurora. She was like the Aurora's origin story, I suppose. I know they're quite similar in a way, but oh man, I love this. Agnes Obel, man, she's great. Yeah, if you kind of know what I mean, you'll know, if you know Aurora, you'll see the similarities there. She's wicked, man, and Aurora's wicked too. They're very good songwriters. It's just like a certain feeling that I get when I listen to either of those artists. It's really good. With Aurora, I prefer the less produced stuff, the stuff that just kind of lets her voice shine a little bit more. Again, like I probably will lean to listening to her live sessions more than her like produced stuff. Kate Bush, obviously, man. Yeah. Stevie Nicks is I'm really sad, man. I had the chance to see Stevie Nicks while she was in London, but I was going through a bit of a burnout, so I didn't actually manage to get through it. Didn't manage to get to it, but what a phenomenal artist, man. Stevie Nicks' voice is like one of the great rock voices. Yeah, man. Sam Tompkins, yeah, obviously, man. But Sam, I've known Sam for years, mate. He's a very, very talented chap. Very, very good. Plan B's fire. So Ben Plan B, he's not, as far as I'm aware, he's not really doing much at the moment in terms of musical stuff. I'd love to make a song with Ben, man. He's fucking sick. But I met him a long time ago. Like fucking years and years ago. I must have been about 18 or 19. We were working with the same producer, and it was right after they did the defamation of Strickland Banks. Fucking talented guy, man. Beautiful voice. No, my mates aren't here. I'm just here by myself. I do love my new piano. It's just over there. It's beautiful. I love a load of... I don't know Baker Boy. I'll check out Baker Boy. There's a loads of Australian artists I do love. I love Cat Empire. Cat Empire are one of my favourite bands, man. I love Sticky Fingers. I love John Butler Trio. I love Fat Freddy's Drop. I think they might be New Zealand. I'm not sure. Who else from Australia do I love? I love Hilltop Hoods. I love Chillin' It and Wombat. Man, Australia makes some good fucking music, bro. Really good music. The Chats. I went to see the Chats. In Brighton. That was a crazy gig, man. I got fucking... Like, the whole place went mental. Yeah. Ro Kapara I've been talking to. There are so many people I've been talking to where we've been like, yo, we should make a song. And then, I don't know if you guys know the organisational skills of musicians when it comes down to these things, but... just because you have a conversation doesn't mean it's a given. Basically, like, we're all hectic and get pulled in a million directions. But I'd love to make a song with him, man. I like him. He's got a very, like, Ro Kapara, is it? He's got a very sort of, like, grunge sound that I love, man. It's sick, bro. Cat Empire is so good, man. I saw Cat Empire live a couple of times, man. They're one of my favourite bands live, actually. I love, I think his name's Harry. There's two singers. I think one of them's called Harry. So cool. Is it Felix? It might be Felix. The guy that plays the trumpet. Oh, he left. Damn. Sophia is amazing, man. So me and Soph were gonna meet in LA, and then again, it never happened because things got hectic. But we've been chatting, and we're thinking about doing a song, man. She's like, for her age, she's crazy. I don't know if you guys watched what was it called? Mother. I Can Be a Mother, I think it was. Man. Like, fucking incredible. Like, I don't say that lightly either, man. Like, her talent is ridiculous. And then, you know, like, when people have that, like, it star factor, where it's like, you can just tell they have that special thing. Some people have got it. It's got that special thing, man. I could be wrong. I think she's either 19 or 20. I think something like that. Disgustingly talented for that age, man. Fucking crazy. She, like, at the start, she reminded me a lot of Billie Eilish, but then when I dug into the lyrics and, like, song, there's something that is very left field of that, actually. It's less pop, but there's a certain poetry in the lyrics that I love, man. System of a Down, always, every day of the week, man. I fucking love System. I was like a massive... Oh, that's another collaboration, actually. I don't know how I forgot about fucking Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine. That would be like a dream hip-hop collaboration for me. Like, I'd probably put that as my number one dream hip-hop collaboration would be Zach De La Rocha, man. What a fucking voice. What a voice. What a subject matter. Man, Rage Against the Machine. Best band ever. I love 21 Pilots. They're cool. He's a very, very creative guy, visually and musically. Really, really cool. Man. Yeah, Skinner Brothers. I was speaking about them earlier. We're already on it. We're making some bangers together. They've been cooking. Justin Hawkins, man. So Justin asked me if I wanted to come down to a studio at some point. I probably will. They've got a whole studio situation. I love that guy, man. We spent the evening after the performance that I did with Sky hanging out, and he's such a nice guy. I fucking love him, man. Like, he had a lot of time for me and a lot of respect, man. And yeah, in no way has his ego been like inflated by the music industry or anything like that. He's such a down to earth guy, such a nice guy. Yeah, really, 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 really cool guy. Wait, I'm just checking out more of these things. Pink Floyd. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. I can't show you it. I'm not going to do that because my tech has been very precarious now, actually. I'm just going to break things if I touch it. But I've got a big Pink Floyd poster over there like now. David Gilmour is one of my favourite guitarists, man. I think that his choice of notes is so tasty. He's not like one of these flashy players. Like, give me David Gilmour over Slash any fucking day, man. I'd meet Slash. I like to. Oh, Jack White, yeah. All day, man. Jack White's so cool. I like he has got an obvious like hip hop influence to what he does, especially on his solo stuff. Actually, even in the White Stripes, man. Like, some of those beats are so fucking hip hop. And the way that the White Stripes mix their records is like mixing a hip hop record, in that like it's very bass and drum forward. A lot of rock records, the drums sit a little bit further behind, but Jack White really fucking pushes those drums, man. Same with the raconteurs, mate. I love the raconteurs. A lot of time for Jack, mate. And his guitar tones are so sexy. I'm just music nerding out right now. His guitar tones are so sexy. Oh. Tom York is also great, yeah. Yeah. Radiohead. I've got to be in a very specific mood to get into Radiohead because it makes me very introspective and it makes me a bit like existential. Like, if I'm going to put on OK My Computer, by the end of it, I'm going to be a bit like in a different place. But when I'm in that mood, it hits the spot. Fuck yeah, Tom York's a genius. Primus a fucking genius as well. I love Primus. Should we watch Nox's breakdown? Because he phoned me before it and I feel like I should watch it. Alright. Let's do it. I haven't seen... Yeah, I wanted to watch it. But I might as well do it with you guys. I was going to do it by myself anyway. Nox Killer. Let's go.
But when I'm coming up, killers on the city streets bagging it up. Crooks and addicts with happy skateboards. We living in vain just to...
Banger, by the way, if you haven't heard it, I did a song with Knox called Fentanyl. And I also almost got blocked from Instagram because apparently I'm a drug dealer now in the eyes of Instagram. Go figure, man. Either that or it's fucking Cujo reporting all my stuff. Who knows? But anyway, banger.
My cousin was a pitcher on that curve. He got that scholarship on campus. He's the man. Throwing heat as he was hot as.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free cup of tea. It's like a bitch version of coffee. What's going on, Hilltop Mafia? It's one only Knox Hill.
Before we start, tea is not a bitch version of coffee. Tea is elite. There's so many sorts of tea. This is very obviously not a British man. If blasphemy like that is coming from his mouth, I will not have tea slander on the review of my song. Tea is God. Anyway, sorry, I'm just very passionate about tea.
We're back, don't react.
It's one of the few drinks that I can have without reacting to it. I can't have coffee. I'm too ADHD for coffee. I just turn into an anxious mess. Tea, we're here for tea. We like tea. We like herbal tea. We like a chamomile before bed. We like hibiscus. We like, what else is it? Jasmine, is that the same thing? That's a good fucking tea, man. Standard black builder's tea, all day, every day, son. Green tea. We like it all, man. We love a coffee. You know what I actually like? This is a controversial tea. Sorry to pause you, Knox. Licorice. Licorice tea is actually fire. There'll be a lot of people that disagree with me, I know, but I'm all here for a licorice tea, man. I know. I can see a lot of ews in the comments. I like it. Let's go.
Action series. So today, man, we got a very special one on deck. Huge shout out to the homie Ren as he goes through his recovery, but he can't wait any longer. He's excited to share this one with the world, and I'm excited to break this down. This right here, right now, is none other than Slaughterhouse. But before we go any further, if you like that song in the intro featuring some guy also named Ren, if you want to check it out, if you want to support the channel, we dropped the song Fentanyl. It's absolutely killing it. I'll put all links down there. Also, shout out to the merch, guys. We're almost sold out of these hats, so if you want your white chaos hat, knoxhillmusic.com. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies, everything that you need. If you want to rep the...
Stop the licorice slander in chat. Yes, I'm not having it. I have it once every now and then. It's actually very good for the adrenal glands and for the hormones. It has a nice regulatory mechanism. I started drinking it because it's really good for your adrenal glands. Helps bring down cortisol. It might have some negative effects in high doses, but as everything in life, just implement balance.
The brand and support. Again, I'll put all links down there. But anyways, what we're here for. Ren, step back up to the plate. Let's see what you got. One.
Oh, we're not, because I'm here, we're not actually going to see what Knox is looking at. Shall I move? Uh-oh. Whee! There we go. That wasn't hard. Let's go.
Somebody, anyone help. Anyone help, I've been going through hell. Hell, I've been going through. Hell, I've been going through. I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been feeling like deleting myself. Man, I've been going through hell.
Walls are closed.
How could you have such like a heavy line? I'm going through hell, deleting myself, and just say it with such a bounce. Da 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 one. Da 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 one. And then he takes the hell that he ends it on and starts with hell I've been going through. I just love his rhythmic patterns and the pockets that he approaches with, man. The drippy flows. And we got some things to break down here. I mean, first off, we open up with this smooth ass piano. Typical Ren video. You start and you create the sense of intrigue, right? Where are we running? We're running along the floor, but you don't realize that just yet. You just see a crack, and for me, that crack in the floor, symbolic. And who doesn't love a slaughterhouse? I always wanted to be a butcher when I grew up. Wait, that's not a crack. What am I saying? That's a bloodline. Wow, see what I mean? Just that reveal. And then all of a sudden we open up to that. And then he cuts in, what in the Greek mythology is happening here? Elysium. That is, that's Greek afterlife. And he cuts in a couple other Greek words too, I think.
Somebody, anyone help, I've been going through hell. Woo! Hell, I've been going.
Hang on. That is... I thought it was always spelled with a U, Tartarus, right? Tartaros there. Did he Romanize it? That's still Greek mythology. That's the abyss that they used to chuck the Titans in.
Wait, did I get a tap? That might just be me with a typo there. Let's find. I hope not. No, it can be spelt both ways. Woo! It can be spelt both ways. We're safe. I'm not an idiot, guys. Probably.
Hell, I've been
I love my history in Greek mythology.
going through. Hell, I've been going
Long live the sophists.
through. I've been at odds with myself. I've been so lost in my health. I've been
Hey, I got that sweatshirt. I wore that at Secret Garden Party.
feeling like. Woo!
Gaia. That is, that's the personification of Mother Earth. Greek goddess. So yeah, he plays off of, obviously, the afterlife, the abyss, Mother Earth. So I just take sort of like this celestial existence of life, death, and the afterlife that he's spinning through here in the slaughterhouse.
Deleting myself, man, I've been going through hell.
Walls are closing
Oh.
for the chosen. Bodies ripped up, sipped and frozen. One by one we'll all fall down. Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
Wow. If you guys like that voice, shout out to Kit. You better get used to that voice because I've heard some previews to this album. And yeah, there's gonna be some dope featuring of Kit. But for me, it's the production on this. It's the smooth melodies of this piano that all of a sudden kick into gear, almost like the machine in the mix. Just the way that everything else just hits. Heavier percussion.
Sipped and frozen.
Like, I want to know what that sound is off to the side. It's almost like the whirring of a machine.
One by one we'll all fall down. Welcome to
Yeah, just, and then it builds.
the slaughterhouse.
Kick. Then you've got that little, just that scream off to the side. Smooth piano out in front. 808 bass is knocking right now. I got a sore throat I'm fighting off after my show, so excuse me, I'm trying not to cough. And then right there, little dum 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 dum. Broken glass as well. Like he's really dope at taking vocals and cutting them into the instrumentation. And then also he has a great ear just for sounds. He'll find just different sounds of like everyday life, of everyday things. Just little moments, just little snippets and samples. And he'll chop those and he'll mess with frequencies and he'll just...
I like to do that. I feel like making found sounds or making your own snares and stuff like that is really cool. And you can do it. I do it on iPhones a lot of the time. Like I'll just like slam a door, record that, smash something, record that. And then you layer that into the mix, or you just find sounds of things like that have been done already. But I think it's just a nice... I'm definitely not the first person to have done that. There's lots of people who do that. But yeah, it's a nice way to get interest in sonics.
Just find ways to cake them into the instrumentation. And it just makes for such flavorful sounds and just unique instrumentation throughout. That was a dope setup shot, by the way, coming in and revealing these shooters too. Let's just look at how this runs out. He's running through, camera at full speed, and then it cuts to black. Yeah, just running along sort of that fence and panning along just as it cuts through the bars and with the lighting there. Oh, was that a silhouette of Ren that was shot and then vanished with the shooting? And then the blood? This is the slaughterhouse, maybe the slaughterhouse of his mind.
Crawl over shards of shattered glass, a masterclass of surviving inside a plaster cast. Martial artist, Arkham Asylum, night darkest, half-heartedly, haphazardly start this. Shallow tombs, open wounds that don't heal, cold steel incision, a mind made a molehill. Through fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive with the mouth to mouth, I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold, goalpost moving, grow up then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black holes. Tobacco, I light up with my hat low. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing. While the sword of Damocles is beckoning, hackling thoughts that torture porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come king that brings the contrast to conquer his sins I bring? Whispers caught by the wind, aboard the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. And pain.
Abort the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. There was a lot of technicals happening, some really dope lines, but I think what really catches the eardrums off the rip is just the way that he's really condensing these rhyme schemes right now.
I crawl over shards of shattered glass, a masterclass of
Shards, shattered glass, master class.
Yeah, it's like the rhyme scheme there isn't typical, and it's almost like that was quite a hard rhyme scheme to do. I crawl through shards of shattered glass, a master class is surviving inside a plaster cast, martial artist, Arkham Asylum, night. There's quite a few different ABs going on there that aren't necessarily at the end of the bar. They're kind of put in quite an orthodox place. But I like writing that, but it was a bit of a tricky little bitch.
Class, plastered cast,
surviving inside a plaster cast, martial artist, Arkham Asylum.
martial artist, Arkham Asylum. So just the way that he starts taking like the hard A sounds and he keeps hitting those A vowels, and sometimes he does the full plaster cast, the full 3 syllables, and sometimes he just focuses on the beginning A rhymes and he just tap 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 tap. So he might go A B A B A B A A A B B A A B, and I just love when he just kind of just keep flipping the rhyme schemes and keep the sequence so interesting, and you don't know when you're gonna punch.
I've started doing that a lot more recently. It's fun. It's fun to move away from, because anytime you're going to write a rhyme, right, the tendency is to rhyme the last word at the end of the bar, and sometimes just not even making that part of the equation. So if you're like if that makes kind of sense. So that rhyme is always ending somewhere different on each line even. So it's not like you're rhyming the second word with the second word from the next line and the fourth with the fourth, but it's like it always changes. So it's almost like an unorthodox drunken monkey fighting style. Would you get me? Like it's fun. English is cool.
We're gonna accentuate just those vowel sounds and making it all rhyme. Surviving inside a plaster cast, and you know, this for me is him inside of his mind, him in his side of his world of being a sick boy, right? And even right now, as he continues to fight, and he feels like he's going backwards right now, and it definitely feels like he's just wrapped in this bubble, in this plaster cast. But he wants to be out in the world. He wants to be out playing shows. He wants to be out with you, and yet it's so frustrating that he can't do that. And it's almost like you're just trapped in this just visceral slaughterhouse of destruction. Arkham Asylum, Night's Darkest, right? Arkham Asylum is in the Batman world, Night's Darkest, but if you flip that into the Dark Knight Batman, that's a smooth, subtle scheme.
Shallow tombs, open wounds that don't heal, cold steel incision.
Shallow tombs, wounds that don't heal, right? If you have a shallow tomb, it's because it's been dug very quickly, right? You got a lot of bodies you're trying to get rid of and you're trying to discard.
Shallow tombs, open wounds that don't heal, cold steel incision, a mind made a molehill. Through fields of the valley of doubt, a path.
That comment was funny, man. This is very meta, isn't it? Like, all we need. I think this happened before where Nox made a video watching me watch Nox, and then we got into Bo Burnham territory there. Do you know what I mean? It is very meta. But you guys asked for the meta, so here we are.
I like how he goes, mind made a molehill, so then you rising up with the hill, and then through valleys, shadow with doubt. Makes me think as I walk through the valley of the shadow with death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Don't heal, cold steel incision, a mind made a molehill. Through fields of the valley of doubt, a pass out.
I found it so funny. I don't know if you guys watched Michelle's show in Black Pegasus' rap battle, but I thought it was hilarious because it was like they'd each release a song, yeah, and then they would break down the song, and then they would break down the breakdown of the song, and then they would like I don't know why, I just found it so fucking funny. It was just like we've entered a very weird time in internet space, man. It was like one of them would drop a tune and then and they'd even break down their own tunes, and then someone would break down them breaking down their own tunes. It was like a funny world of content creating rap battle, man. Like, I thought that was hilarious. It was entertaining. Shout out to both of them. I like both those guys, man.
Vibe with the mouth to mouth, I stay locomotion.
And also, you think about just like the poetry of this, the valley of doubt, because a valley is a low, and he's going through a doubt, so he's sinking. Just love the way that he phrases that and sets up that.
Through fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive.
Bro, I just saw that comment. Man, the reaction, Michelle Show's reaction to me doing Baggage was fucking hilarious. It was fucking hilarious.
With the mouth to mouth, I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold, goalpost moving, grow up, then grow old, hocus.
You want to talk about counting syllables and meter right here? This is really dope what he does, this little rhythm.
The molehill,
Through fields of the valley, da 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 da. Locomotive choke in a da da. I just love the way he's up here. He's like attacking, right? And then when he switches his flow, he's always good at this. When he switches the flow, he really switches up his voice to make that flow switch just hit on a different gear and level.
fields of the valley of doubt, I pass out, revive with the mouth to mouth, I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold.
Loco motion, move with a chokehold. So he goes 1 2 1 2 1 2 and then 1 2 3. Loco 1 2, motion 1 2, move with 1 2, a chokehold 1 2 3. Check this out. He does it again to just mirror that sequence and that metering.
Post moving, grow vibe with the mouth to mouth, I stay locomotion, move with a chokehold. Goalpost moving, grow up, then grow old.
Goalposts moving, grow up, and then the 3's coming in, then grow old. Love that setup.
Hocus pocus, voodoo and black hole.
And the goalposts are constantly moving. You know the saying, like the goalposts move, right? Feels like every time I'm crossing this line, the goalpost moves. And then I have to start over and I have to go through the sequence all over again.
A chokehold, goalpost moving, grow up, then grow old. Hocus pocus, voodoo and black holes. Tobacco, I light up with my hat low. The last of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a 7-wing.
Interesting lines there, the last of the prophets, right? Heaven sent Nephilim. But they shouldn't be heaven sent, because in Hebrew, the Nephilim, they are the fallen ones, right? They're Lucifer. They're the fallen angels who let pride get the best of them. So they wouldn't really be sent from heaven because they've fallen from heaven. So therefore they're deceiving. Just the way he sets up that line.
The sword of Damocles is beckoning.
And even before that, obviously, it looks like he's almost doing his Jesus right here, like a crown of thorns. But in this case, it's like torture materials or needles on top of him. It's a different crown that he's rocking.
Heaven sent Nephilim is also it's a bit of a paradox as well. It's one of the things that comes from the constant questioning of spirituality, which is something that I do all the time, man. Like I wouldn't call myself an atheist, but I wouldn't. I have a really funny, turbulent relationship with spirituality, man. But there are so many paradoxes which exist within all religions. One of the big paradoxes about Christianity is, and one of the main questions that you would ask is, if there is an all-powerful, all-loving, omnipotent creator, why would he allow for suffering? Or if he was all-knowing and all-powerful, why would, surely he would anticipate and know the creations, when Lucifer was banished from heaven and became Satan and stuff like that. Surely there is an omnipotent being has some kind of expectations of that to happen, or some knowing, some deep knowing. So there's a lot of confusion that comes. There's a lot of questions which never really have answers. I don't think. It'll be interesting to know what other people's opinions are, but I think more and more where I sit on the fence is, I wouldn't call myself a Christian necessarily, but I decide to believe in the thing that brings me the most comfort only because there is no answer. So I may as well side with the answer that makes me feel the best, if that makes sense. Because I think to deny everything, like with atheism, is to say that you know. And also to decide that you're a Christian is also to say that you know. And without material tangibility right in front of me, I find it very difficult to say that I know. So I choose what to believe in that regards. So I choose to believe that there is a loving force, a loving creational force out there that has my best interests at heart. And if I suffer, which I do often, it's for a purpose. And if I decide that, if I decide that it's not meaningless, it makes me feel better. So I might as well decide that. If that makes sense. Like, I might as well decide that there is purpose. I might as well decide that there is something that's got my back, you know, because that makes me feel comfort. And I don't really know what to call that. I wouldn't necessarily say it's agnostic either, because agnostic is the openness to both. And I am open to the fact that it is just a random bunch of particles out there, and it has no real purpose or meaning or objective. Or it's a bit more sort of in line with Nietzsche's view. But I like to think, given the choice, if it was up to me, I would like to think that there's something outside of my comprehension that has my best interest and isn't just fucking toying with us. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm just looking in chat to see what people think about that. I also think that given that we live in the year 2024 AD, means either the Romans were very, very good at changing the whole world and the calendar of the world, or Jesus was an actual person who did some pretty good shit. You know what I mean? Just going off our calendar alone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Funnily enough, the older I get, the more open I become to certain ideas. I was actually part of a Buddhist sect for a while, called the Nichiren Daishonin, and we used to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which is this Buddhist chant which it theoretically enlines you with your purpose in the universe. And the reason that I went there was mostly actually I just loved the rhythm. It's a funny reason to be like aligned with the spirituality, but I love the rhythm of the chanting. It made me feel good, and that's really how I dictate anything in life that has no real right or wrong answers. I will align myself with the one that makes me feel the best, because I'm here for a short amount of time. I might as well decide the things that serve me. And I also think that my problem with sorry, I've gone on a massive tangent. I'll get back to Knox in a second. I also think that like my issue with a lot of organised religion is the fear that it imposes on someone. I think that to a degree we've all got an innate knowing and moral compass inside of us, which dictates how to act. And I think that we know when we go against that. I hope we know when we go against that. We know when we're being a dick, and we know when we're acting like righteously, I believe, and I believe that we should listen to that voice a lot, and we should live in a way that doesn't inflict harm upon other people, because it makes you feel better as well. If I'm harming you, I'm harming me, really. If I'm consciously inflicting pain on you, it's because I'm feeling pain and I'm trying to express that pain by inflicting it and taking it out on someone else, or I'm internalizing it on myself, and that's where things like depression and anxiety are born. But I think that one of the things that makes me feel the best is the projection of love, like outwards, and trying to make someone feel better, because if I'm helping heal somebody else, I'm also helping heal myself. I firmly believe that, man. I firmly believe that, and that's not necessarily a spiritual belief, I wouldn't say. That's just called being a decent person, man. But yeah, the older I get, the more I kind of like. It's why I touch on things lyrically, like the Nephilim, like sort of lean on some mythology and stuff like that, because I really love the stories, and I'd love them to be true. But the problem I have with organised religion is the fear and the division that it instills, and also the hierarchy of religion. You know, like one of the problems that I had in Buddhism, even this is very true in all religions, in all of the major centralized one, and Buddhism was meant to be the exception. But I'd go to a Buddhist meetup and they go, we don't tell people what to do. That's why we're better. Do you know what I mean? So it was like there was almost like this superiority complex because we don't have a superiority complex, we are superior. Do you know what I mean? So it was like there was still an undertone of that. And in Christianity, it's massively there of being like, you know, Christianity is the best one because X, Y, Z, or following the Quran is the best because of X, Y, Z. You know, like I don't like the hierarchy of it, because when you strip down a lot of these religions to their core, they have fundamental similarities, which is basically just behaving in a morally principled, a morally just and a morally righteous way. Not everyone, obviously. There are some things that are a little bit iffy that I don't agree with, that are very outdated. A lot of the views on things like homosexuality or the imbalances between men and women, I'm not a massive fan of, but they were written in a very different time, you know, and I believe that you can take a lot of the heart of those messages and apply them to the time that you're in, you know. That a lot of the Bible is essentially a tapestry of a lot of different times in history where people added and chopped and changed and translated, and it's, you know, it's a big collection of man, essentially, and a lot of the stories that came down. And I know that might sound like blasphemy for some people, for me to say so, but that's not me detracting from it, because I still think at the heart of it there's a lot of really important messages that can be taken from it, the same as all religions. I think and a lot of them have love at the core, and a lot of them have the Bible, it overrides a lot of the things. Love overrides a lot of the things, and the fact that our sins are taken by Jesus overrides a lot of our sins. So to apply things and be like, hey, stop being gay, God wouldn't like that. Like, actually, if you dig into the Bible, the forgiveness and the fact that your sins are absolved is a big part of it. It doesn't mean that you should go around being a dick because you get a free pass, but it just means that certain things, I think, shouldn't be looked upon with so much fear and shame, basically. I don't know. Anyway, rant over.
Prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing.
Roman. He is roaming the earth, but then it also could be a callback to the Roman times and the Romans and the crucifixion of Jesus.
Sword of Damocles.
And then the 7 wings. 7 wings, seraphim, angels who have the 7 wings.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the comments. I think there are exceptions. I think if a religion expects you to pay money to be part of it, and there's a little bit of an air of exclusivity about it, it's not necessarily a religion, it's more of a cult. I know that saying that live might get me targeted, but I think that anything that has like XYZ or financial entry points and that kind of like, it still does exist in normal religion. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think you can be a good person without necessarily, I don't know what I'm saying. Just carry on.
Of the highest angels, according to the Lord. So we have some more religious imagery going on throughout this.
Of the prophets, heaven sent Nephilim, roaming the earth with a severed wing, while the sword of Damocles is beckoning, heckling thoughts that...
Sword of Damocles is beckoning, right? Heckling thoughts. Just love the way that he slant rhymes that into it. But the sword of Damocles, shouting back to Greek mythology again, sword of Damocles. For me, I always imagine the sword of Damocles as like calling on the ended signs, which could forward to the Bible and Revelation, but it just means, you know...
This sword is a remake of one of the Lord of the Rings swords. It's just what we had. I've forgotten the name of it. Someone told me the name of it. It's a Lord of the Rings remake sword.
Destruction, death, ill omens are coming upon us.
Watch your porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come king that brings the contrast to conquer his sins?
Kingdom come conjust. Wow, there's some coming. That's how babies are made. But also he's playing off the C alliteration right here. Love the switch up again.
Porcelain skin. Who's the kingdom come...
That almost looked like a Lord of the Rings sort of shout out right there.
You got it.
One of the ring race, or even like Sauron himself just like swinging down right there. Yeah, that's dope.
Bro, also shout out to the costume. Brigitte did an amazing job designing that costume right at the last minute. The red veils with the crown of thorns. I thought that looked dope.
Who's the kingdom come king that brings the con...
Wanted just like there's different shots where it feels like he's just trapped. He's behind like this sort of plastic bubble wrap. He has this mask on, And for me, again, this is a lot of visual, just raw representations of his mind frame, but also his physicality and him dealing with his sickness within this world. Just feeling like he has to be almost protected, like he can't even go out into the world, and he's trapped, right? And he's trapped within his own cyclical world of his own health. Abort the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. Not if you're in Florida, Ren.
Whispers caught by the wind aboard the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. And pain makes men out of boys that were lost. It's across to the home.
I'm not gonna open that can of worms right now. Actually, I was about to open a can of worms.
Some get body back.
That's a great line right there. Hang on.
Caught by the wind aboard the fetus, and here lies the body of Ren. And pain makes men out of boys that were lost. It's across to the home.
Pain makes men out of boys who were lost. That's so true, because we start off with this childhood innocence, and then loss happens, and pain happens, and angst, and as we grow up and mature, right, it does make us mature, and we lose just that sense of happiness with the world.
Chat's talking. I think that if it I've got to be very careful here. If it's to do with a man, a man's biology and physiology, then men should vote on it. If it's to do with a women's physiology, women should have the final say. That's my belief in the matter. I believe that in terms of America, it should be primarily decided by women. Whichever the side of it fancies, the side it fancies, it lands in a democratic society. You know, it was collectively discussed. It's not being collectively discussed in a healthy way at all. It should be, because there is actually merit. I'm not just out here going to be like blindly disregarding one side. I think there's merit to both sides of believing that sentient life can appear in a womb, but I believe that the decision should be spearheaded by women. That's what I believe.
That excitement, that enthusiasm, we almost become corrupted with adulthood. Anyways, I'm gonna let this run some more, and then we'll come back and break more down.
Some get body bags, it bag tagged, and it still hurts low key. These concrete streets breed wolves from sheep in the land of the holy. And the legend don't die, I love that guy. This one's for the broski. Paddle to metal, you know how he. The devil and Jezebel coming for. Jackal is hiding inside of my. Taking your rosy cheeks, painting them blue. Turning your clique into skeleton crew. Stripping the soul from the base of your shoes. So watch my tongue, my words are laced with. I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the booth. Switch up the star like biceps impression. Heavy lift, tricep, bicep, I flex the thunder.
I love the reggaeton, bro. I don't know. I've been getting into a bit of reggaeton recently. I'm probably gonna head over as soon as my health gets a little bit better. I'm gonna head over to Mexico because there's some stuff with health I wanted to explore out there. But I've been opening the door to more South American music, man, and Spanish music, and fucking reggaeton, boy. I'm liking it.
And lightning writing on Tesla. Connect direct, pinholes disconnect. Working in a lab, a mad bad like Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head that collector. 1,000,000 degrees, graduate semester. A bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor.
They say, he say, she say. People like
The because humanity erodes.
OKK with an AK, pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Killer ghost, giddy sick of the most. QB quicker on the trigger, click, 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 click. Empty chamber, fill it, reload. That cock it and hold. Bullet in the chamber, explode. And burrow through the prick skull. Let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Sucker making crack. When I spread, that's the bread. I'm the butter and I bled. For the love of music dead. Undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker. G. Sick. Yeah, I'm sick. I think I told you that I'm sick. Sucker click. And when I pull up on your click. Click, click, click. Homicidal, traumatic. Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.
Oh. Hang on. Yeah. Had to be. Had to be a twist. I think for Ren too. That's not the sick boy. The sick lamb? Sheep being led to the slaughter?
It's a bunny rabbit.
I think
It's Johnson, man. I know I'm Welsh, but Johnson isn't a sheep. He's a bunny. He's a bunny. He's a bunny. There's a reason.
a theme that I find throughout a number of Ren's music, especially the last album, is this concept of almost anarchy and destruction. And for Ren, it's not just an institutional destruction, it's a destruction of self. It's almost like he plays off of this because he's been so close to death and he's been forced to really think about life and the value of life, and also
I believe that the external world is really just like growing off Knox's point here. I believe that the external world is a reflection of the internal world, and I believe that one of the reasons that we're experiencing so much disharmony in the world at the moment is because, again, something that I talk about a lot, profit before people influences decisions in a negative way. And so a lot of the foods that we're consuming, a lot of the lifestyle choices that we're making are creating disharmony in our own bodies. Even if we don't necessarily feel it and we haven't got chronic diseases, there is still a kind of attack on the health of the cells, because science is biased to profit as well. So like a lot of what we're choosing, a lot of our agricultural means, we're kind of rendering soil a lot unhealthier than it used to be before when we were growing crops and stuff like that. And it's because of profit, and it's because of trying to cut corners and maximize profit margins, and this disharmonious internal state. And also as well, that's just one element of it. Also what we feed ourselves through social media, through what we ingest, how we bicker with each other online, all of these things, it kind of adds to that harmonious state. And so how can you expect your external reality to be anything other than dissonant and disharmonious if the reality inside yourself is the same? So it always starts with us, it always starts with our mental health, it always starts with our physical health. And me more than ever, I'll preach about physical health because I have to work harder than most to make sure that I'm a functional human being. But anyone can really take those steps. I think that it's a really important thing to do to make sure that your internal world looks great, because once your internal world looks great, you can create basically the external will follow. If you're feeling healthy in your side, if you're feeling dissonant, confused, angry, annoyed inside, that's going to come out, that's going to be projected onto other people. So I really feel like taking care of ourselves is such an important thing to do, which has far-reaching implications other than just looking after ourselves. I think we look after the whole world when we start to look after ourselves. And yeah, I agree what he said there.
Contemplate and deal with death, and the prospect of just being ill and fighting that and the unknown and the uncertainty, that creates its own forms of trauma. And I think he's always been infatuated with this ideal of, almost like killing oneself in order to have this new reincarnation, this new nirvana, this new spiritual rise. And that,
yeah, I think that breaking some really interesting points here at the end. I think that like the samsaran cycle, if you guys know about samsara, the eternal cycle of rebirth and death. There's a beautiful film actually. It's called Samsara. It's just 2 hours of visuals, so it's beautiful cinematography. I really recommend checking out Samsara, man. But the samsara concept it's like a Buddhist. I think it's a Buddhist rooted concept, but it's of like trying not to be so attached to things, because destruction and creation is all part of the same process. There's a beautiful scene in it where these Buddhist monks, I think it's in Tibet, they make this beautiful structure out of coloured sand, most gorgeous thing, and then the second that it's created, he just swipes it away. And there's something so beautiful and powerful about that. I thought that like you'd spend so long creating something amazing with painstaking work just to destroy it straight away. But I thought it was a really beautiful condensed metaphor of just creation and life itself. And the concept of death and rebirth and life is really in the periphery when you have to. I mean, for me, since I was 19 years old, I've had to live with the reality that my health could just take a turn, and I might not be here. So like I've had to really make peace with my own mortality. And it's something that I think about all the time. It's like, what if I was to die tomorrow? Do I feel content with my contribution, and how do I keep being a better person so that because it's inevitable, it's coming for all of us at some time or later. So it doesn't have to be this big sad thing. It doesn't have to be this big scary thing, because it's part of the parcel of life. Once you're born, we are heading to our inevitable demise, and that doesn't have to be a sad thing. It's just part of the parcel. And like, so I think by keeping it in your periphery, it really teaches you to be a better person, because it's like, if I build an empire on material things, you know, like a big garage full of sports cars and this huge house, and I have multiple houses and etc. Like, really, when all is said and done, I'm probably not going to be lying there going like, oh, I'm fucking so glad that my Corvette, I bought that Corvette, you know. Like, I'm probably going to be thinking about the things that I did, the actions that I took, and how I tried to leave a footprint, and what that looked like. So I always try and use that to steer my moral compass. Obviously, I'm a mere mortal, so I am at mercy of the frivolous, hedonistic pleasures of life, like all of us are, and sometimes I indulge in them quite a lot. But I try within that to do no harm to other people, and I try and do it with a good moral compass, you know. And I think being aware of death kind of helps that there. So yeah, death is a huge subject matter in my work, actually. I guess because it's always in my periphery, man.
That's killing the doubts of oneself, killing the pride of oneself, right? Just like that identity, and just having sort of that slaughterhouse, and almost that just like analytical butchering of oneself in order to hopefully find something greater. Because he doesn't just end on that negative note, that note of dark clouds and death, and this is the end and this is final. For him, there's always that death, but then there's that hope of what's next, and there's that resurrection, like that phoenix rising up. And I think,
and again, like, coming back to spirituality, it's because it always is there. Like, when I am rendered to dust, something will take its place, and whatever that is, you know, if it's my body decomposing and turning to dust, I've taken another form. If it's a reincarnation, like they believe in some religions, if it's a soul going to heaven, if it's like, if it is simply nothingness, and it's just stillness, it all just takes a different form. So, you know, there is always something else, even if that something else is nothing else, you know. So I honestly, I know I get upset about my health and stuff. That's never because I'm afraid of dying. I've actually really made peace with dying. I'm afraid of suffering. I'm afraid of being alive and suffering for the rest of my life. I'm really scared of that. I'm really, really scared of that. And I know part of the Buddhist philosophy is to accept suffering as a lesson. But it's still something that I haven't truly accepted. You know, like I still have a huge fear that the majority of my life will be spent in pain, and I mean, to a degree, it is like with my muscle and bone conditions that come with autoimmunity. 24/7, I will be in some sort of pain. It's just that you become very tolerant to it because it's always there. So you have to, like, even when I was getting my tattoos done and stuff, people were like, "Whoa, you didn't blink an eye, like you didn't flinch." It's because like I'm very used to it. The stabbing in the eye was a very different situation, but like in terms of like low level pain, it's just always there with me, and that almost has just like disappeared into a dull buzz in the static of life. But when it gets really bad, when my symptoms with Lyme disease and stuff get really bad, I can't. People in the chat will know we've got chronic health problems. Like, I can't do justice to how bad it is. Like, I can't, because I've had COVID like 6 or 7 times. I had flus and meningitis before I got really ill and things like that, and I can honestly say it was a fucking walk in the park. And I don't mean that to take away from anyone going through something like long COVID, because I know that comes with its own, the whole fear of how long it's going to last. But like, it honestly, like any of those things compared to like Lyme disease, and I'm not also meaning this is just a very subjective experience, by the way, for me, because I know that we have our subjective experiences. So I'm not saying this to belittle anything, because I know that I said something before about self-victimization, and a lot of people took that offensively, but I actually wasn't. I was actually talking to myself in that respect, and I'm talking to myself now. it's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. I can't really do justice to how horrible like autoimmunity and the related conditions are, and also the fear of never knowing when it's going to stop. Yeah, and if anyone who's healthy who's watching this, one of the things that I would love to do, well, I was talking about legacy and stuff like that, is leave a kind of imprint on that space to either help people going through chronic illness feel less alone, or help people who aren't going through it understand some of the misconceptions about it and feel a little bit more sympathy and empathy towards it, because I know that a lot of people become misunderstood, and people just think that they're maybe not trying hard enough, or people think that they're I don't know, or they say things, oh, like, you know, I had the flu for a month or something like that. But like, when you're in chronic illness for years, the way that it erodes the spirit, the way that it erodes the psyche, and you really do have to deconstruct and reconstruct your whole self again and again and again, just to make sense of it, and just to survive, really, just to want to decide to carry on living. Like, you've got to really deconstruct your beliefs and your relationship with pain again and again and again. It's tough, man, but it's possible, because I'm still here, you know. Like, I haven't, there've been so many times I've wanted to give up, but I'm really glad that I didn't, you know. And I still get those thoughts today. It's not something that I've transcended, but I know those. I'm so familiar with those thoughts that I know now that when they come, they will pass, and there will be a moment again like this where I'm sitting down and saying, I'm happy that I'm alive, you know. So yeah, man, that cycle of life and death is huge. It's huge. It's huge. But you know, the world is changing all the time. Technology, even if you think about the fact that something like AI didn't exist 20 years ago, I have hope that in my lifetime I can see a cure, you know, because the human brain is beautiful and it's creative, and its potential is really limited by how much effort we put in. So I am I'm very hopeful that in my lifetime, it's easy to feel disheartened, because with ME and stuff like that, particularly, like, the same news articles pop up every year of like, new breakthrough found, and then things go quiet and you just kind of feel the same, and these things take a lot of time. There's a lot of yellow tape, but like I say about your internal creating your external, I think that if you talk about it enough and you push for it enough, anything's possible, man. You know, like, getting HIV isn't a death sentence anymore. People live pretty much normal lives with that. That was killing so many people, and I believe that we can get there with a lot of these chronic illnesses as well. We just have to push for it, and our drug companies have to be incentivized the right way. They need to stop being less fucking greedy. I have a lot of feelings towards companies like Pfizer. I know that they save a lot of lives and they help a lot of people, but the way that they go about it leaves much to be improved. If you're an American watching me right now, go and get a prescription from Pfizer from your pharmacy without insurance and tell me how much it costs. It's fucking criminal. Considering how much those things cost to make, it's fucking criminal. It's criminal. I'll tell you, my prescription of one month's worth of antibiotics, right, for Bartonella infection that I picked up last month. 1 month's worth. Put a guess in chat. This is for one. Keep in mind I take countless medications a day. This is just for one. Put in chat what you think 1 month's worth was. I had to pay for it out of pocket because I don't have insurance. Yeah, we're in the right ballpark. Oh. Fuck me. Oh, am I still live? Sorry, that cut off then. My monitor screen died. Sorry, I went a little bit. Anyway, yeah, the answer was $950. That's for one. That's for one. My monthly cost. Yeah, a lot of people. I got a comment recently. It's funny, man. This is something else to talk about. I got a comment recently in Money Ties being like, you can't make a song about the problem with greed and still earn money. I'm like, you've completely missed the fucking point. It's not about money. The song Money Ties, it wasn't about money being the problem. It was about the behaviors surrounding money that are the problem. You can't expect to just remove yourself totally from the grid and stay alive. But if you're not allowed to criticize money whilst earning money, it's a very overly simplified viewpoint. I believe that you can do really again, money's a tool, and it has intent, anyway, XY, and then they were like, I bet you're spending money on XY, my medical bills alone, just for medicine, you're probably talking, I'm not even joking, you're probably talking close to about $5 or $6 grand a month just for medicine. That's not doctor's appointments. That's not various IVs or treatments like that. That's just medication. Think about that for a second. But before my music and stuff blew up, I just had to make do with whatever the fuck was out there, like getting herbal supplements on Amazon and stuff like that. I'd never be able to do the treatment that I am that's kind of keeping me functional today, which is why I'm so fucking militantly passionate about this side of things, because there are so many people out there who aren't in this position that I want to fucking help elevate to, which is why I will talk about the problem with the pharmaceutical industry until the cows come home, man. Like, there are so many people out there. I know in America there is there's the insurance company, and if you get a job you can get Medicare and stuff like that, but not everyone has that luxury, and it's criminal. Everyone as a fucking birthright in a tax-paying country should have access to medicine. There should be no one excluded from the right to have health. And economically, if you're looking at it in a capitalist sense, it helps your economy grow if you keep everybody healthy. So it's crazy to me that we've turned the pharmaceutical and healthcare sector into its own greed-driven model. It's fucking criminal. Fucking criminal. Anyway. Right. I've forgotten what the point was. I went on a massive sidetrack there. Life and death.
And that metaphor and that death and just killing all the voices in his head and finally just silencing them and all the doubt. And even right here when he cuts through the plastic and he finally is like trying to enter into our world, right? And sort of break the fourth wall there with the viewer and some of the looks that he gives, right? And just some of the acting. I mean, some of his facial expressions are priceless right now. I mean, he looks like he just got off the toilet of the porcelain throne right there. And he had a really good one. I mean, that came out solid. All right, let's break down more of this. Come on.
It's the body of Ren, and pain makes men out of boys that were lost. This a
Notice another flow switch accompanied by another production switch. It's almost like songs within songs with Ren. And I just love how he's so versatile and he keeps it so interesting with his music. It's not the same instrumentation all the way throughout. He's constantly just doing counter melodies, just switching things up, new sounds, new elements introduced, every like set of bars.
I think that's probably my ADHD's fault, man. I get bored. That's the reason that I flow switch so much in songs, is because I'll do something for like 8 bars and I'm like, I'm bored of this now. I want to switch it up. It's probably ADHD, man.
And every time, you don't know what's around the corner.
to the homies. Some get body bag, zip bag tagged, and it still hurts low key.
Sons get body bagged, zip tagged, right? Rest in peace to some of his homies that he's lost. And it still hurts low key, right? He still makes songs about it.
These concrete streets breed wool from sheep in the land of the holy. And the legend don't die, I love that guy. This one for the broski. Paddle to metal, you know how we
Pedal to metal, you know how we da 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 one da 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 one. Remember how we started this song? I love.
That's a very fucking Kendrick or Lil Wayne inspired flow there. Dribble to metal, we know how we do this. Big fucking fan of both, man. Big fan of both.
how we come back to this rhythm. Obviously different lyrics, but I really just love the sauce on this.
No, that guy, this one for the
And obviously you have him in the middle, right? Wearing the Sickboi, repping the Sickboi brand again.
Oskies.
And he's got white in the middle, and you see like the black, almost like the innocence, and then the sin, and the darkness, and the clouds around him, like the devil on his shoulder. But there's multiple devils when it's red, because he's got split personalities.
Adult tomato, you know how we do. The devil and Jezebel coming for you. A jackal is hiding inside of my view. Taking your rosy cheeks, painting them blue. Turning your click and
Da 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 one. But there was like a half a breath.
I was one of those preteens with ADHD who got kicked out of school. I got kicked out of my first primary school when I was in year 5 for multiple reasons. I was a little shit bag basically, but yeah, I was one of them. But I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was like in my teenage years. I think I was about like 8 or 9 when I got kicked out of school. But I was one of them. But I think it was just ADHD. I just couldn't fucking. I didn't like to sit down.
Before the view, there was one that was just like slightly off beat.
I wasn't medicated as a child. No, I take Adderall now, and it's fairly helpful. I would say that it's fairly helpful. I'm not a massive advocate of like just blindly medicating yourself. I know that America will put fucking everyone who doesn't stay sat in a chair on Ritalin, which I disagree with, but it's not as bad in the UK. But there's I've forgotten the one in the UK. We prescribe one in the UK that's not Adderall or Ritalin. It's a different one. But the overprescription of antidepressants and pharmaceuticals without first having tried to address your diet, exercise, frame of mind patterns is a bit silly in my respect. But medication can be really helpful in certain instances, and the Adderall is actually quite helpful for me.
to Skellington crew, stripping the soul from the base of your shoes. So watch my tongue, my words are like.
And then right there, ripping the sole from the base of your shoes. Like the sole of your shoe, but also I take it as like literally ripping your soul out of you.
I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the booth. Switch up the star like bisex impress.
And right here, what in like just like the Latin rhythms, almost like reggaeton sort of percussion. It's dance vibes right here. Give me the glow sticks. I'm streaking through the club.
I'm lying in truth, it's a fire in the
Just to come out of that, and he uses do 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 do, and that percussion kick happens,
switch up the star like bisex impress. Your heavy lift.
and then it all just switches.
Oi, is that true? Are we on trending music? Hang on, I'm just going to quickly. I'm just sorry and interrupt Nox very quickly. Let's go. Are we trending? Hey! Brrr. We're number 19, baby. That means it's going to climb because that's quite an early. Trend. So hopefully we're going to get it up, man. Keep fucking playing the tune, man. I'm sorry if it's getting late. Someone said they got school tomorrow. I'm actually going to wrap this up once Nox's video is finished because I need to get on with my life. I've been streaming for a long time. Let's finish this video off and then I'm going to love you and leave you guys.
Just up, almost like beheading the king. Makes me think of like the sword of Damocles right there, and he's cutting his own head off, right?
That bicep I flex the thunder and
Bicep, I flex ya. Flexing a bicep versus him flexing.
lightning writing on Tesla.
Thunder and lighting, riding on a.
Yeah, you'll be able to rewatch these. I'm gonna try and re-upload streams on Renmakes stuff, by the way. So if you haven't caught the beginning of the stream and you want to watch me bawling my eyes out like a little wuss, then you can watch the earlier bit of the stream as well.
A Tesla.
Direct horse disconnect. Working in a lab, a man bad like Dexter. Coming for your neck.
Working in the lab, a man bad like Dexter. Shout out to Dexter's Laboratory.
Direct horse disconnect.
But also like he's in the lab, creating, doing what he does.
Working in a lab, a man bad like Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head that collector. 1,000,000 degrees, graduate semester.
Coming for your head, the head debt collector. She comes for head.
I know, guys. I was just being facetious, man. It's good to cry. Let it out. Let it out, mate. I'm just being a rant.
Physical heads, and then he's at the top, the head debt collector. I just love a little bit of the wordsmithing, just flipping right there.
Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head that collector. 1,000,000 degrees, graduate semester. A bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say.
Bullet in the knee. Who puts bullets in the knees? It's a very sort of like mafia cartel type of the move till you kneel to the emperor. So he's going to bully you. He's going to threaten violence upon you. And to me, that's just...
Bullet in the knee to
But also like he's in the lab, creating, doing what he does.
working in a lab, a mad bad lad Dexter. Coming for your neck, the head that collector. A million degrees, graduate semester.
Coming for your head, the head debt collector. So he comes for heads, physical heads, and then he's at the top, the head debt collector. I just love a little bit of the wordsmithing, just flipping right there.
Dexter, coming for your neck, the head that collector. A million degrees, graduate semester. A bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say.
Bullet in the knee. Who puts bullets in the knees? It's a very sort of like mafia cartel type of the move till you kneel to the emperor. So he's going to bully you. He's going to threaten violence upon you. And to me, that's just like greater just reflections on the violence within this world, right? You have these different religious themes. You have these mental health themes. You have these societal.
I'm just checking to see if I got one past Knox. I'm just like, these days, the only reason that I write songs is to try and get ones past Knox. Let's see if he caught it.
Themes that he's dealing with throughout this and mixing into his lyricism.
You wait semester, a bullet in the knee till you kneel to the emperor. They say, he say, she say.
I think he didn't say it. A million degrees graduate semester. It's a very simple one, but I think it slipped under his radar. A million degrees temperature, also a million degrees, a degree, a diploma, graduate semester. I think I got it past him, man.
People like bicker as humanity erodes.
OKK with an AK pointed at...
He say, she say, they say. People like to bicker as humanity erodes, and it's so true. I mean, how divided and how much do we have bipolarity in this world, especially after the USA election. I've been making videos on this and just trying to get people to come back around to the world of respect and treating other people the way that you want to be treated, but it seems too difficult on social media. It's all about rage baiting and hate clicking.
She say,
People like bicker as humanity erodes.
That's up to us, though. Be nice to each other, everybody.
KK with an AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Kill a ghost.
Obviously, KKK wears white sheets, so looking like a ghost, but that's how you kill a ghost in this sense.
OKK with
OKK, AK, KKK. Love the flips.
AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. Kill a ghost, kill a ghost. Kitty say.
I think that's actually one of my other favourite lines in it. The OKK with an AK pointed at the KKK. That's how you kill a ghost. I love that line.
Get the most. QB quicker on the trigger. Click, 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 click. Empty chamber. Fill it, reload. The cock it in hold. Bullet in the chamber. Explode. And burrow through the pricks. Go, let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Sucker making cred. When I spread, that's the bread. And the butter and I bled. For
Making cred when I spread. That's the bread and the butter as he's bleeding on the page and bleeding through his art.
let's go. Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I take that like click, 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 reload. And again, for him, like he's unloading yet again and trying to let it all out on this page. All his anger, all his angst, all his frustration.
Sucker
This is like controlled American psycho rage. I mean, Christian Bale will be proud of that shot.
making cred. When I spread, that's the bread. And the butter and I bled. For the love of music dead. Undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker. Jeep sick. Yeah, I'm
See, there's the resurrection. I talked about the resurrection theme and then him bleeding on these pages.
for the love of music dead. Undercover, tell the coroner I left. Resurrect, motherfucker. Jeep sick. Yeah, I'm sick. I think I told you that I'm sick. Sucker click. And when I pull up on your click, 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 click. Homicidal trauma.
When I pull up on your click, right? Your group, click, click, click. And again, love the wordsmith and flips.
Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.
Bam! Hell yeah. And I love the teasing. Feels like a new chapter, a new era. And it's
Oh,
a
yeah,
really
baby.
dope intro into the world of Slaughterhouse.
Fuck
Even
yeah.
though, as he said, we're not going to be getting a lot of rap tracks on the Slaughterhouse. So it's really interesting to open up with a rap track. But I think you're just getting ready to walk into the chaos of Ren. But like I said, man, I really love the production on this. Some really good MCing, some really good rhyming, just setups, fluid throughout. Ren, take care of yourself, homie. You know I love you. You were Noxo certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen if
Awesome.
you did.
That was a good breakdown, man. That was very, very good. Yeah, hang on. Let me move this over here. Hopefully it doesn't glitch out again. Oh God, come on. Get on that other screen. Why this two-screen setup is eluding me. Come on. Get over there. Oh, maybe it's because this is. Nah. Can we do it now? Hey, here we go. All right. Fuck yeah. It's been an emotional roller coaster, guys. Thanks for joining me on my first stream back after my big health collapse. It's nice to be like somewhat back in the world of the living after like not a very great couple of months, to be honest. So thank you for joining me. And my very latest project. I'm really looking forward to sharing the rest of this record with you, man. It's fucking. I'm really excited. I'm really proud of a lot of the songs. I'm really proud of a lot of the creative vision that we took getting here. Hopefully, I'll have Vincent's Tale for you sandwiched somewhere in the middle of this album release as well, and some collaborations as well, independent of this record that I'm really excited about. And also next week, keep in mind next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. If you're here, it'll be amazing to see you guys on YouTube at about 7 p.m. Yeah, we're releasing something very, very special that I've been working over a year on bringing to life with some people that I love, and it's very immersive and it's really fucking creative, and it's allowed me to be creative in a whole new way, and I'm really excited to show you guys it. You'll get to see a side of Ren the director rather than Ren the artist, and I'm really, really excited for you guys to see that, because it's a big part of my passion. You know, like I talk about cremating and rebirth and stuff like that a lot, like as we touched on, and part of it is like, you know, say if I got my leg cut off in an accident or something like that, you know, like I've recently found out that, you know, like stuff like touring probably isn't on my horizon, you know, and I'm constantly trying to adapt and then create a path for myself, which then allows me to remain creative, allows me to feel happy and content about being alive and things like that. And doing stuff like this where it's less pressure and less energy intensive is like, it's a really nice outlet for those things to happen. So and it creates a bit of a silver lining. So yeah, I'm really excited to share that side with you. It's going to be really, really cool. And as always, guys, like try and keep your internal world safe and protected. I know that we're moving into a lot of fear at the moment. Like if you look at the news, whenever I log into social media, a lot of the talk about world wars and stuff like that, a lot of the polarization, it kind of makes us lose our center as humans a little bit, and it can really kind of it can really change the way that you operate with existing, with life, and that's that attention and what we choose to do with that information always is dictated by us. And I know that there are a lot of forces that kind of force it into your periphery, but always just stay with your center, stay with your kindness, stay projecting love outwards, stay with the mantra that you can lift yourself up whilst lifting other people up. You don't necessarily have to be selfish to succeed, which is the world sometimes teaches you. It's actually much more rewarding being successful, surrounded by the people you love. And if you can't see a lot of those people around you, the world's full of a lot of people, and you can find them in spaces, digital spaces or physical spaces. They're out there, and they have got your best interest and back at heart. If you haven't found them, you can find them. And I hope in my own way to create a space right here, in amongst the people who listen to my music and stuff like that, where people can find each other and people can find support and love in each other. That's really, and I'll probably talk about this stuff a lot more. I consciously thought about it a lot in the times that I was sick, about like really, really sick, eternally sick, unfortunately, but the times that it was really, really flaring, I was thinking about it a lot. And that's really more important to me than my music or anything really, is what do I, Ren, want to do? And it's just encourage a little bit more, a bit more of that in the world, and a bit less division, because the world could do with it, man. It really could. It really could. Anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling, guys. Fucking love you. And until next week and until the next drop, man. Take fucking care of yourselves.
Welcome to the slaughterhouse, bitch.